Yeah. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Centralist Radio Show. If you hear some weird whining thing in the back, that's just the prisoners of war we have captured here from the alien resistance war. So, just in case, I just wanted you to know. Other than that, don't worry about it. It's nothing important. It's refugees Mike were sending me from New York. He said he's had enough of this bullshit. He's sending them to the South. No, I'm just
That's right. I
kidding.
pack them up and I send them
Bad,
south, man.
bad way to start your show. Sorry. Well, I mean, anyway, guys, welcome to the Central. I'm Joe Montaldo. That's Michael Angley. We're just talking tonight about all this different stuff going on in the country. We're going to get into a lot of different news, a lot of different things. But there's
I thought you had a dragon there. I thought that sounded like a baby dragon since you went to
Dragon Con 22. I was there. Look at that, people.
You bring home a dragon egg, and that's what happened.
Now that little apparently the bitch hatched in my bedroom.
Little dragon.
Live on the air, dragon hatches in Joe's house. So don't worry about it. Well, maybe, you know what? Maybe that new TV series can use it as a stand-in. What is that? Dragon something. What is the name of it? Something from
Dragon Balls.
Dragon Balls. That's the name of it, but still. It's, hey, Derek, how you doing, Chad? How you doing, man? It's, no, really. It's that new series that came out from Game of Thrones. It's, I don't know. Anyway,
girl has sex.
If y'all are into this, y'all know it. If y'all are into this, y'all know what
she has sex with a dragon, right? Like, isn't that the whole deal?
Shit. One of the things we do radio. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. I need some coffee.
I don't know. Like, I saw this commercial.
I never watched Game of Thrones.
The girl
My wife
has
is a big fan.
She has sex with dragons, and she has like dragon kids and whatever. Like, there's all this.
Well, I know about all that now. Maybe I might have watched that.
Straight up bestiality going on that
this
show.
Other stuff is
that's why I can't watch it. My beliefs won't allow me to watch that.
Yes, my moral guidance will not let me watch dragons.
My moral
compass.
I'm
not even going there, man. Jesus.
My moral compass has enough trouble finding.
But anyway, no, it's a new series that's out, and everybody loves this damn thing. I hear my wife and him talking about it all the time. And I did watch the first episode with Matt Smith is in it from Doctor Who, and they love it. I think, and it looks like it's pretty good. I may watch it, but I wasn't a big Game of Thrones fan. It's not what I'm into right now. And then everybody's telling me about the Lord of the Rings, the new series. Elon, 2 thumbs up, baby, for having the balls to say what you said. Elon's actually going to show men what it is to be men again. That's just scary, is what that is. Guys, if you're a guy and you're listening to this radio show tonight and you're not sure what a man is, you can look at me and Michael because we're pretty much. But if not, if you got doubts, go look at Elon Musk.
We're poor manly.
Yeah, we're poor.
Is rich man.
We're poor. Yes, we're poor people. But
Leonardo DiCaprio, you got to give him credit because he's also a rich manly. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's a little perverted, man. We don't bring Leonardo into this.
I don't want to be a little perverted. He's having fun. He's having fun. You got to leave the guy. Hey, man, you know what? He stops it at 25 for women. 25 is when the drama starts. If you think.
Oh my God.
That's
when anybody that's listening to this show tonight, you got to write to Mike.
Downhill like a toboggan race.
So
right to the bottom. And he's never lost his money to a female.
I think Jay's working. Maybe sent me an instant message. I think Jay's working on that. I'm not sure because I didn't catch Jeff's show tonight. I've been running late all day, and Mike put the show up tonight, so I didn't get a chance to look. But if y'all know he's around, just hit him up. Usually, though, if he's around, he hits me up to let me know he's available for the show. So he'll probably be with us next week. But Chad, where you at, man? Where you been hiding out at? I'm all over the place. I'm gonna be in Utah in just 2 weeks. I was in Atlanta, last week. I'm in New Orleans right now. I'll be in New York later. I'll be in Buffalo later sometime this year. I'll even be in Canada sometime probably early part of next year. And then I got a couple speaking gigs, and we're getting ready to put some conferences down here as well. So we're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for speakers. The first one or two we want to do is to kind of do pro bono to get it off the ground and get people going there. But anyway, enough about all of that. Let's get back to Michael sending his damn refugees back to the South. So first off,
too many up here in New York.
This shit cracks me up yesterday. I'm listening to some radio show, I don't even know who this is. I think it's NPR. Okay, so I'm listening. I'm driving along, and here comes the DC mayor. Oh my God! It's an epidemic. It's a pandemic. Y'all just don't know. We're being slaughtered. We got to call a national emergency. And then you hear Jean Pierre later on in the day going, "Oh no, there's not going to be no National Guard coming to DC." I was like, and then here comes the New York mayor, so he's going up now. You heard Littlefoot. Littlefoot's just an idiot, so and a racist. I know someone else is suing her again because she only gives media access to black media, and come to find out, Kamala does the same thing. By the way, so these are people in power positions in our country that are being completely racist. If a white person was to say, "Oh, I'm only going to give interviews to white people," what the hell do you think would happen? We'd be
I
hearing
don't know,
about it for the
man.
next 5 years.
The tide
It's
is turning.
it's
That
turning, but
I'm
it's turning
watching it
kind of
happen.
slow.
You got to look at the Oberlin University, right? There was this family store. These three black kids from the college students went in there, tried to buy alcohol with a fake ID. They stole alcohol. They got busted. The shopkeeper's son confronted them outside. They beat him up. So they claimed racism. They claimed racism against the store. They have a history of racism. The college went against these people. They picketed them. They had a rally outside. So this family won $36 million. This is what Oberlin has to pay them for a defamation suit over racial profiling that was unfounded because it was three black students who stole from their store. And it wasn't white supremacy. So think about all the stuff they claimed: white supremacy, racism,
Yeah, but
institutional
we
racism.
heard so much of that shit under Obama. Most of us don't even care anymore.
All those things are going to mean nothing. And people like this family is now going to get $36 million from that college because of what the college's knee-jerk reaction did without, trying people in public without any kind of due process as to what really happened. But what's happening, Joe, with the black community in America? You tell me.
Well, you know what's interesting, and this is a strange thing because I know a lot of people across the country and down in the South. So the Southern blacks have been changing now for about 30 years, 35 years. They've been solid changing, both in political environments. They have a much sterner, a much bigger grasp. Like when I was in Atlanta, all the blacks you're seeing that were in the same place are all comfortable, wealthy blacks. They were having a good time. They were out at Dragon Con or they were out at the Atlanta game or one of the games. They were enjoying what downtown Atlanta has offered. Let me tell you what, downtown Atlanta is not cheap, people. So you've seen a nice progression that way, but you still got, like our mayor from New Orleans, Mayor Cantrell. She's from Compton. She moved down here to go to college at Xavier University. Um, got on with the water board. Got in trouble because she ran up some credit card bills. While she was getting in trouble for this credit card bill, somehow she became mayor. She served 4 years. Now she's six. Yeah, I'm not kidding you here, man. So now she's here. She's 6 months into her second term, and she just got busted for flying her and all her friends to France first class. Now you can't
No.
do that if you're a politician.
Yeah.
You can follow. You can go business class, but everybody else has got to go coach, and that's just the rules. Well, she owes the parish $30,000. She told me, "F you, I ain't paying it back. Come get it." So now they got a recall going on. I mean, this is only in a liberal city do you see this kind of crap. I mean, liberal state, you got recalls. You don't see southern governors or southern anybody getting recalls. You don't see all this violence in southern cities or southern states. It amazes me that almost all the violence that happens in Louisiana happens in New Orleans. Almost all of it. Don't get me wrong, there's violence in other places, but not like there is in New Orleans. In Mississippi, almost all of it happens in Gulfport or Hattiesburg. And the rest of the state is a very peaceful state. So where we see is concentrated for some areas where there's large concentrations of liberals, there's always large concentrations of violence. Why? Hey, Lynn Pico, I'm not making this up. You can check these stats for yourself. You don't have to believe me at all. All you have to do is go look at what cities are red, what cities are blue, what states are red, what states are blue, and just look at the violence in each one. And you're going to be freaking amazed is what you're going to be. When I went and looked, I mean, the blue states, the big blue cities are responsible for 82% of all the crime in this country. So figure this. If you eliminated just 5 of the big blue cities, there would be virtually no crime in the United States. None. And that's not as many people as you think. It's only about 24 million people you'd be eliminated. But those people are making massive problems in our country. It's strange when you look at it because I'm a centralist. I was raised a Republican, and I left the Republican Party many moons ago and became a Democrat because I felt like they were more along my peace, love, and light side. Come to find out, they were not any better or any worse. than the conservatives were. I was like, Jesus, what kind of disaster do we have going on? So I became an independent. Well, independents don't take this the wrong way, but y'all don't have any balls. Okay, y'all just like, we're going to switch this way, we're going to switch that way. No, do you realize independents make up the majority of the country? I mean, if you combine both the Republican and Democratic Party together, only about 44% of the voters. We really do control the country, but we, the independents or the centrists or whatever, well, I guess we're just wusses because we never vote as a bloc. Do you realize if the centrists and independents got together and voted as a bloc, there would be no more GOP or conservative rule in our country anymore? They would be here to serve like they're supposed to be. Remember, our Congress is here to serve us. We're not here to serve them. They're here to serve us. But right now, we're just serving their every little whim, spending all our money with them, giving them everything we're making. I mean, look at the economy right now. It's ridiculous. Have y'all been shopping? I've been listening to you poor damn Yankees, man. A couple of radio stations I listened to from up north. And, man, I was bitching about how much we were spending. I'm not even going to bitch anymore. I feel for y'all. I mean, it is ridiculous how much money you're paying for gasoline. And then I hear gas is going to make another big surge just before November. How coincidental is that?
I just put gas in the other day, man. First guy say what's up to Derek's out there. Derek Cohen's chilling, man. You know what? I just put gas in the other day. I paid what was it? $4.59 a gallon for Unleaded Plus. I mean, prices haven't come down. You know what? Well, but it was $2.50. It was $2.30. I mean, not that long ago. So yeah, it's double. It's double of what it was, and these guys
the
trying to
day,
act like
the day Joe Biden took office, I was paying $1.32 a gallon. The peak down here was $4 a gallon. Right now, it's running right around $3.20, between $3 and $3.60, depending on where you buy it at. That's what it's running now. I have gotten it as cheap as $2.96, but I also get 25 cents off a gallon.
Joe, you're gonna love this one. So in New York State, they're trying to pass a bill that's going to put a restriction on everybody's car that keeps you under the speed limit through GPS and for the speed of the road.
Oh my God!
So it would ultimately give you warnings on if you're going over the speed, and then if it gives you another warning, they issue you like fines, tickets, like through the mail that you went over the speed limit.
They do know that. See, that's what happened to the camera systems around the United States. People started challenging them because whether the camera's right or not, you have the right to see your challenger.
I challenge it because I got two red light going through a red light. I never went through red lights unless I really truly intended on doing it, like middle of the night, stupid type of light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I went through same location, going through both ways. The light literally, I went back there and videotaped it. The light literally goes green, yellow, red. So you're going 45 miles an hour, and then it goes green, yellow, red. You can't stop in time. It was impossible. So they threw both of the tickets out. But that's the problem, is that you have private industry getting involved, and shooting people. One time I was going through New Jersey, right? I was kind of cranking. My car likes to go about 75 miles an hour. 72 is my sweet spot. I don't deny my Jeep that speed. It's its nature. You know what I mean? So I'm cruising through Jersey, Garden State Turnpike. They've got these speeding cameras. You know what I mean? Like, they'll catch you. So there's a minivan in the right lane. I go and whip past them. And when I did that thing took a picture, but they were kind of in the way. I'm wondering if they got any kind of ticket. Because it's not an exact science, man. You can manipulate these things. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But I think if they're going to track you and track your speed, sometimes you need to go faster than the speed limit, getting on a parkway, expressway, that type of thing. Well, if you're running away as a woman trying to get away from some freak, man, she got to speed away, So it comes down to that. But this is more control, more power control, more Orwellian. Hey, we're in your face. We're going to be in your life. We're going to monitor your speed. We're going to monitor every time you hit the brake. We're going to monitor that. We're going to, communicate the information with your insurance company. Who the hell wants any part of that, dude? Who the hell? At that point, see, so now New York State can't do that. And with all this, keep in mind there's a crime wave and all kinds of stuff in New York State. They got to deal with fiscal problems. There's a federal law that sets the speeds and whatever, and there's a federal law saying that they can't put any device on your car. So again, they're trying to circumvent the feds, and they know that.
But it's not even that. People forget this, and I notice, especially the Z Gens and the millennials must not know this, but your car is an extension of your home. So they can't do anything to your car that they couldn't do to your home. So if they said they could put a camera and monitor your car, then it means they could monitor your home. Well, nobody's going to go for that. It's not how it works.
No, people do. Because now Ring is a general thing for police agencies You don't have to give permission for your ring camera outside and what it captures, And they've proven, I've proven, I had Google cameras, and these Google cameras, I could hear myself inside the house. And the house had good insulation, all that, good windows. I could hear myself inside the house on the Google
No,
camera.
yeah, you can. Look, there's so many ways they listen to you now.
Google owns all of that. You don't own it; they own it. You don't even have the right to it. So people need to read the fine print.
So to help y'all with this, people, in case y'all got something like Mike's got, we have cameras on our home, and they do have voice on activation. But what we do is, instead of running them through any programs, we actually run them through our routers, the same routers we run the network through. So nobody's listening to them but us. But on a side note, freaking Alexa and what's the other one from my Apple phone? Them bitches will start talking to each other. Alexa, the other night, we got a conversation going in the bedroom. There's like 5 of us sitting in there just chit chat. All of a sudden, Alexa
5 in your bedroom?
In.
Very kinky, man.
Yeah,
very
kinky.
Very kinky, Joe.
Kinky, 4 girls, 1 guy. That's always the way to go.
Hey, to be over 50,
that's a quad
over 55 with 5.
That's
I know
not
a guy that died like
that's
that.
a quadrattoire, huh? But anyway, we're in there talking, and Linda says something, thank you, or I love you, or something, and Alexa goes, oh, that's so nice of you. Anytime you say something sweet to us, we give you points. I'm like, what the? Did this fucking thing just join into our conversation? Now, it's not the first time it's done this. It's actually just started talking out of the blue.
What kind of points? Like, what do you get? Get free cigarettes?
I have no idea. It's just weird stuff. And there's a couple times I've been online on the radio, like on UFO on the Cover, sitting on the other chair over there, and I have Siri open, and Alexa and Siri start talking to each other. I'm like, really? I'm like, but they tell they actually warn you when you buy this shit that they listen all the time.
What if you did a threesome with Alexa and Siri, and you're kind of in the middle? You're like, hey, baby, I'm going to slap some ass. Come on, Alexa and Siri.
I'd be Cortana,
baby. How many points do they give you for that?
A lot, especially if you're stripping while you're doing it. But anyway, getting
get a dance pole.
So, sorry, Carol. Carol's writing in from Houston, Texas, and she's saying that Governor Abbott is constantly on the television saying we're shipping them here, we're shipping them there. And she said no one in Houston believed him until we started seeing the national news. And she said it's a big joke down here. We're laughing our asses off. He said they finally understand what we're going through. Well, Carol, I'm glad to see him shipping you. I hear he's sending more to Chicago.
Well, let's finish the sentence. Let's finish the sentence for these mayors ranting that they can't handle this. They claim thousands and thousands have been sent. Abbott and then that other one from Arizona has actually not sent that many in comparison to what Biden has sent.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, it was the Democrats who shipped these people off in planes. They did it. I mean, they've been doing it for quite some time. Up to Westchester, put them on buses. They sent them into New York and down to D.C. and parts of New Jersey. So they are the ones who are doing it. But now if the Republican governors do it, then it's a problem. It's a problem. Yeah. But Joe Biden has not gone to the border to check anything out. There are a lot of people.
Well, no, you see, okay, I'm glad you said that because Ted Cruz the other day, I think it was the day before yesterday, he come on loosed on Gene. What's her name?
Grandpa Munster. You got to call him Grandpa Munster.
But he come on loose on what's her name? Jean Pierre, the girl who's the spokesperson.
The Cupid doll. I call her my cute little Cupid doll.
Okay,
my lying Cupid doll.
We'll leave it at that. The cute lesbian.
It's a horrible lie.
Anyway, she keeps telling everybody, and this was so funny the other day. She's telling everybody, they're playing clips of it, right? She's telling everybody, no, the border's secure. What are you talking about? And she's looking at the guy from CNN going, no, the border's secure. And he's looking at her going, look, I'm on your side and I can't buy this bullshit. He's like, come on. And and every time, so Ted challenged her to come down there. He said, put up or shut up. And that stuff kind of kicks back. And then your favorite girlfriend's in trouble. AOC, I hear, maybe having an investigation on her for, not properly dealing with her money.
There's something I like about dirty girls. I don't know what it is, man. You know what I mean? Like a little dirty, a little shiesty. It turns me on. There's something like, I don't know.
God, AOC, if you're looking for
the Brooklyn inside,
you know what? That's what you should. You know what? There you go. You should apply as her bodyguard, man. You should apply as AOC's bodyguard. Yes, everybody write to AOC. Write Michael reference to AOC.
I'm like, woohoo!
Hopefully we won't see his ass in jail in a couple of weeks. But anyway, getting into some of the real news for a change. We're not kidding you when we're talking about all these people being shipped around the country. It is really true.
I think it's funny as hell. The ones that are going to New York are leaving because they say New York's too unsafe.
Yeah, it's too dangerous.
The ones who traversed all this unsafe territory says New
York's too dangerous. I know. Wait, they're saying the same thing about Chicago. So I don't know what's going to happen with all this. I know. And Lori Lightfoot, if you ever want to see a racist pig, a true racist pig, just turn on television in Chicago and watch Lori Lightfoot. She is the biggest racist pig I've ever seen.
Yeah, she gets away with all this terrible racism. And so when they claim racism, the word doesn't mean anything because you have people like that and it's tolerated. It's one thing if the left said we're not going to tolerate any kind of racism, nothing, which is what it's supposed to be.
She just is truly a racist pig.
And I've heard it time and time again.
And she just really doesn't care about her citizens. When you look at Chicago before she came there, and now it's kind of like the same thing with New Orleans. I'm beginning to wonder if her and Katoya are friends or something, man. Because look, both of them took over at the same time. Both their cities went straight down the shithole. Right. So, for everybody in New Orleans and Chicago, I feel y'all are sister cities anyway. Y'all share a lot of things in common, except New Orleans is way the hell smaller.
I don't think minorities get a fair shake when it comes to
what minorities? But what the? Well, wait, Mike.
I think when certain minorities represent minorities, they don't do the right thing. I think Lori Lightfoot does nothing for people. That all the shootings, all the crimes, toughest gun laws. She's ineffectual as a leader.
I was listening to the ADA or whatever it was the other night, and they were talking about we have to redefine what a minority is in our country now because things are changing. And we're really going to have to redefine it because they were talking about, we say this many white, this many Hispanic, this many black. Well, a lot of Hispanics actually identify as white. But the problem is no one in this country is really white. Like most people in this country are not really black. I mean, when you get right down to it, you'd be hard put. If you started DNA testing white people across this country, you're going to find a lot of them are mixed blood. And if you start testing blacks in this country, you're going to find a lot of them are mixed blood. And so those are truly not, out here. It's like one of my African friends the other day told me, she goes, I'm listening to this girl on TV. She said, I'm African American. She said, I had to call in. She said, you're not African. You're just an American. She said, you've never lived in Africa. You don't understand what Africa is. I can tell by your big ass mouth you don't know what you're talking about. She said, I'm from Africa. She said, and I love this chick. She said, you see, my skin color is black and yours is cream brown. She said, you are not African. Ooh, this chick went off. I mean, and it was just one of those things. I mean, most Africans do not consider black Americans to be black Africans. They just don't. They've been here too long. They're not really considered to be African. And Africans just don't consider them having that bad a shake after coming from Africa. It's a damnedest thing because I don't like. So like a couple of months ago, well, actually it was about 10 months ago, I was at a party with some friends. And I brought a good friend of mine in from from Kenya. And we were at the party, and two guys I worked with and one of our radio show hosts showed up, and we're all talking. And they started getting into, who's who and who's from where. And Elon Musk came up as being the richest African American. Of course, that just pisses everybody off, but he is an African American. He was born in Africa, and he's an American citizen. So he is African American, and he is the richest African American there is. So they were debating on the merits of how is he an African American. And then the boy goes, well, none of y'all are actually African American. He said, Elon was born here, so I have to give him credit for that. He said, I was born there. I have to give myself credit. He said, but y'all weren't born there. He said, how far you got to go back to find out somebody who was born in Africa? He said, you ever notice Americans? He said, Americans from all the other different things don't call themselves Italian Americans or French Americans. They just call themselves Americans. He said, only Africans tend to stand out like that when you truly aren't African Americans.
Typically speaking, in proper English, if you come from Italy and you become an American, you're technically speaking you're an Italian American. That's how that goes.
Technically, you're an American of Italian descent.
Well, Italian descent kind of just means your lineage, but to say African American for people who were born here is not correct. They're Americans. They're Americans. They fought in the Revolutionary War. They fought in every goddamn war we had, World War I, World War II, and
they're Americans. That's the whole point, though. And you got to wonder why someone would want to hold on. You don't hear, like, people say, oh, Hispanic Americans. You don't hear Hispanics going around saying I'm Hispanic American. They just say I'm American. Matter of fact, they're happy to be Americans.
in the early 1900s, there was a Democratic plan to dismantle the black people in the United States of America, their families, their communities, and everything.
Folgers and
And
shit.
and they they're the ones with the KKK. They're the ones with the Jim Crow laws. It was Democrats all along. They want to be in control all along. So what happened? I mean, and look what happened over the years. Look at ghettos and look at all the problems. Nobody ever solves those problems. And for the leaders of the black community to say the problems in the black community are police, that's like the most craziest, ludicrous thing you could ever say. You know what I mean? I've been in those neighborhoods. I have friends in those neighborhoods. I know my friend Art lives in Far Rockaway still, and I said, "How is it out there? How's the block?" This is going back a long time ago, where crack just started and all that, and you should have seen the stuff that was going on, the drug sales and the shootings and blah. And he says worse out there now. He says worse. The streets are worse. They're more dangerous. You know why? Because these criminals have been empowered to commit crimes. They've been told it's not their fault. And now this is what we have. This is what we have.
Yeah,
It's
but see,
goddamn frightening.
yeah, all of that's changing now. And what I like, and I agree with what you said, Chad. I mean, most Americans now aren't judging people by color anymore or by sex. They're just judging you if you're an asshole or not. And I've always been that way. I personally,
Nobody wants to get killed. Nobody wants to see that dude on that shooting spree in Memphis. Let me tell you, man. You know what? He was
Boston, where
locked
you at?
up. He was already locked up, and they let him out early. This guy was a danger to the public. The one who kidnapped that jogger, he was
Yeah.
locked
Now,
up
well,
for attempted murder.
that's happened in a couple of states now. And what happens is once that happens, the people in charge start getting kicked out, which is what needs to happen. It's just a shame that it has to cost someone a life in
You
order for
need
it to
to
change.
punish the guilty. Put the blame where it is. It's not about color. It's about action. It's about what these people are doing,
But you see, they're not going to do
what
that
criminal
because
activity they're involved in, and then you lock them up accordingly. That's really what it is. But I'll tell
when you
you,
get when you get X
I
amount of
predicted
leaders,
this
it's just not going that way.
on my show a long time ago. I predicted this, that these local governments are not going to have the money to prosecute. And I know I have friends who are district attorneys upstate New York. They have a small budget to work with. They have to pick their cases. They have to plea bargain down the rest. The smart criminals know how to get through that and get around that and get those charges lowered. But people are in danger. You've got ticking time bombs in your community. Ticking time bombs. They're gonna go off at any time, and you're never gonna know. You could be waiting for the bus, waiting for a train, driving in your car. It doesn't matter. They'll drag you out and shoot you in the head.
Thank God
So
all them people stay up north and out west, man. Jesus.
that's what's going on in America. They're from coast to coast.
Yes, but
This is
but
what's
that don't shit
happening.
don't go on. But you see, it's different for us. Sometimes when I listen to people talk around the country, I feel because we live in a different country than y'all do. There's
Because you
really
got all
not
those
that much.
voodoo people. You got voodoo people
But
in New
there's just
Orleans,
not.
man.
Yeah, but that's right.
Nobody
And they keep the
messes.
violence. But New
Nobody
Orleans, New Orleans
messes
is
with them.
violent. New Orleans is a little
Like,
violent. But the rest of the South, you know,
then
and Atlanta can be a little violent
all of
too,
a sudden your
actually. But
penis falls off.
But
I
see, it
don't
goes
want
back
that.
to what we were talking. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. The liberal cities seem to be the violence, but I've been preaching this for about 25 years, and I talk. It doesn't matter which color friend you're as of mine. I still say the same thing. This is not about color. This is about class. It's about how much you got and how much you don't got. Look, you've got the people, the rich people, the middle people, and the poor people, and that's the way the government wants it.
It's
They
always
like
been a
keeping us
class
divided.
war.
They want
Always.
it, but they've turned it. See, if you know it's a class war, then you know how to fight it. So they keep it as a race war. That way, the people don't think about what
So
it really is.
under
It's a
Barack
class war.
Obama, your average American lost 1/3 of their wealth. That was across the board because the middle class was stomped on with his policies. Trump goes in there, has a short time to switch things around, but he was embattled from day before he even got in. He was embattled by people making up evidence, doing if he's such a bad guy, you should be able to find stuff that he did that was terrible instead of make it up. When you're fabricating evidence, that means you got nothing, and you need to do that. But the people who fabricated the evidence, the Clintons out there, the Clinton crime family,
Yeah,
you don't have to fabricate evidence against her, right? Look at all right, Governor Hochul, New York State, big campaign to donation to Governor Hochul. She gave the guy's company this COVID test, all the buying the tests for the state, right? And he charged people double the amount of money for all this stuff. So now he got caught and he's being called out and she's being called out. These people are criminals. They're thieves. They're not representatives. They're allowed to steal. So you need to tighten the rein and make sure we need to manage our money as Americans. That's what we need, a money manager. And that's what Trump was. Trump was a businessman. He didn't want to waste people's money. And I don't even like the goddamn guy. But I'm saying good things about him because they're making they're forcing me. Damn it.
Well, no, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Trump did a lot of good stuff. I mean, he's just, but
He did.
He's just also insane too.
I like Melania. She was nice.
Well, she was easy on the eyes, that's for sure.
I bet she smells nice. I'm an animal. I judge people on their scent. I'll give you a sniff like Joe Biden.
I was getting people sending me earlier about bets on if the monarchy will make it through Charles or not. I don't know. I have no idea.
I think he's going to die within 3 days. You know why?
Oh, shit.
Because
that's trying to some shit, man. Jesus, man. Oh,
he's not going to have the chance.
Right to Michael.
He kicked that corpse out of that throne so bad.
Oh, shit, man.
I'm the king. I'm the king. Call me king. This is my sword. I'm the king. Yeah, and all of a sudden, like he'll have like a massive.
Mike needs to share the fucking drugs he's on. Is all I can tell y'all.
So who's next after Charles? I said on my show last
night. Kids next, man. What are you talking about?
Probably that Harry Cuck, Harry's wife, the barbecue, the barbecue princess.
Oh my god!
That's what I call her now. She's the Barbie, the Malibu Barbie princess.
Well, I mean, if something happens to Charles, then. The son gets it. As far as the old one, the young one, he's out. He's.
And what happens? Because he's not looking too healthy either, and he's got that weird overbite. What happens if he chokes on some steak?
He got 3 kids. So one of the kids.
So does it go to her? See, that's the problem with royals.
It goes to George.
They're a bunch of leeches. The monarchy leeches, man. They don't deserve to be there. They shouldn't be there, and that's all I have to say about that. So whatever. God save the Queen.
So they're already. I love this. This tells you. This tells you. MSNBC couldn't say something nice if their life depended on it. Meghan Markle proved an uncomfortable truth about the Queen's legacy. Really, what is that? Does anybody care about this? Whoever wrote this story, first off, is just a hater. Zijon Helmine. Oh, I guess so.
See, look, Chad Palmer, man.
That explains everything.
Chad Palmer. He said, when I was in the Army, when Obama became president, they cut the budget and started kicking people out for the smallest infractions. Not the transvestites, though, that's for sure. And what they did, they stopped fixing airplanes. They stopped fixing tanks. So when Trump got in there, he rebuilt our military. He actually said our military had been largely depleted. And this was the complaint from generals, admirals, and all these different people. Obama he was driven with globalization and disarming this country. So what is it about these people that want to disarm us? I always look for where the action is going to go. As an investigator, you're trained to look for where that train is going. You know what I mean? You look for the action. What's the outcome? What's their plan? Even if you don't know what they're doing, you can look at the results of what they've done and see the outcome of that and add that to some critical thinking and common sense. It doesn't add up very well for the Democratic Party and especially the people controlling. I still can't get over Biden in that speech and how he threatened basically half of the nation, especially MAGA people who are responsible for building the roads and bridges and transporting food and every blue collar thing you could think of, and who are also white, Spanish, black, Asian, all kinds of people, because they know that vote for Trump is going to be a vote for their own pockets, their own bank accounts, their own safety, their own well-being, and the well-being of their family. They want their families to be safe. What's wrong with that? They want their towns to be safe, not have these repeat offenders. Biden's got the nerve to talk about the dangers out there with MAGA people while you have these repeat offenders going off in the streets, killing innocent people. Come on, that woman she was jogging, got 2 children and her husband. The kids, they're going to grow up without her. The family's going to be without her because of that scumbag. And he gets to live. He gets to live, right?
Well,
does Tennessee have the death penalty?
I don't know. They probably do that being a southern state.
They
don't all, but Tennessee might. I'd have to check and see.
Texas has an express lane.
Oh yeah, man. Well, they
got to get this done fast. What are you doing next week at noon? What? I thought Texas. I had time to appeal. That was your appeal.
Yeah, Texas got a lot of people, man. They gotta move them along. I think
They put him in
Louisiana's
the
still
electric chair, and they're like, "Hey, hey,
Louisiana
boy,
used to
hold
have
my
the
hat."
electric chair. I think they got lethal injection now, though. I think they moved
Hey,
to
boy,
lethal
hold my
injection.
steak. We're trying to save money here at the Capitol. I'm gonna flip the switch. You know what I mean?
No,
That electricity.
so I see. What is this one? One American News posted this one. Biden's economic blueprint rewrites the past 2 years. Liberals just think if they say it enough, it's going to be the truth. But do they not realize while they're saying these lies, people's pocketbooks are getting crammed?
They're gaslighting. They're liars, man. That's what they do. That's what they do. I watch them lie. I watch people lie. Everybody lies. Every human on the planet lies. It's actually part of our natural defense. So is it wrong to lie? Does lying save? Oh, there's a police officer coming up. You got any marijuana in your pocket, boy? And you say, no, sir. But you know goddamn well you just scored. You ain't gonna tell shit. You're not gonna say it unless you have to say it. So is that a lie or is that self-defense? Because it doesn't matter if you have it or not. It just matters if you get caught.
Let's see.
Now it's legal. See, now it
Yeah,
doesn't
well, I
matter.
know.
That's that. You know what? That's the really funny part of it here in New York State. And I actually thought I'd never live to see the day that marijuana was legalized. And right now there's a gray area, so uh, they haven't issued all these permits yet for people to open the stores, but these stores have opened. So you go in, you buy a sticker art, right, for whatever, 50, $60, and they give you that amount of marijuana. So they're circumventing what's out there. I don't know, but it's freedom, dude. It's a very weird thing that for so long they've
Yeah,
put
but you
people
see,
through court.
but this goes this gives me
No,
something
no,
that
this is important, man. For a long time, they put people through court. They dragged people, put people in jail. They did all these things just for some marijuana. This government is the people, for the people, by the people. The representatives have lost their way in representing people and making laws. It's laws to confine, laws to control, but it's not about individual freedom. Just
yeah,
like when
but
my communication company sends me, "You've got it. We have a deal for you." Their deal is for me to spend more money. If you have a deal for me, you're going to save me money. Hey, we're going to give you $10 off your bill. Oh, that's cool. I'm happy with that. No, man, we have a deal for you. So that's the government, dude. They're after you, Joe. They
but
know.
that's
They know about your dragon.
the government loves us, man. They love us and they want to hug us. But
They know
now
about your
see,
dragon.
but
Look at
something I
that
bitched about from day one about
cryptozoology.
legalization of marijuana is that the potheads were going to f it up, and it's exactly what they're doing. And if they keep going this way, it's going to be unlegal again. So there was never any recorded deaths of marijuana until the edibles became along. Edibles and a
Yeah,
couple
I'm
other
not a
things.
fan of that stuff anyway. But
Well,
it's just
edibles, you might as well be
semantics.
doing LSD if you're doing edibles, man. I mean, some of them are just
Semantics, man.
ridiculously strong. But the thing of it
Semantics.
is now you got people dying from possession from marijuana,
But
and
where
they're
you
killing
live, it's
other
still
people.
illegal, though. Marijuana
No,
is
it's not.
illegal in
No, it's not illegal.
in
Even Mississippi
Mississippi,
has no.
Louisiana.
Mississippi and Louisiana both have medical marijuana. So does
Oh,
Florida.
I'm talking about recreational use.
Oh yeah, it's you get caught if anything under an ounce, it's a misdemeanor. You get a
And what
ticket.
about anal sex?
Yeah, that's illegal too, man. That's why New Orleans
So
got the biggest gay
sodomy
population in the
is
country because it's illegal.
sodomy still illegal there? I know Georgia.
No,
I know,
none of that shit's illegal, man. The blue laws, but I got blue laws like like you can take out and beat your wife every Sunday. You know that, right? So you love it down here, man. Every Sunday you can take a belt this wide and whoop your wife every Sunday. That's still in the blue laws, man. Actually,
some
it's in the
slap
Creole
some
laws.
ass.
Actually, they never got rid of any of those laws. They kept them, which is weird. Like there's a lot of weird laws still on the books, but
You
at
know
this
why?
rate, they're
Because they
already
can
talking
use
about this.
that.
The feds are already talking about cracking down because of deaths related to
They can
marijuana.
use that to charge people. When they have a law like that, whether they enforce it or not, it's there. And they have the right to enforce it, which is why they like to push these little laws through that can cause trouble for you. That's really what it is. And it's about power and control. So it makes you want to just say,
Until the
I'm leaving this
Fed
stupid country, but there's nowhere to go. The whole world
until the
is messed
Fed makes marijuana legal, it is not legal. It is still a Schedule One drug, and in lots of places, if you get caught with it, you can do hard time. I mean, do y'all realize, people, that marijuana is higher than meth and
in
cocaine?
New York, you can smoke weed wherever you can smoke cigarettes. That's the law. That's the rule, man. So hey, which is funny as hell.
So now, I'm glad you said that. So when I come to New York next time, I'm gonna stand by somebody and get high, and then I'm gonna sue New York City for allowing him to get me high.
I'm gonna open up a cookie
Nobody's
stand
even
next
thought
to
about
every
this. I should have never
marijuana,
said that on air.
next to every marijuana store. Marijuana store, cookie stand, big and tall man store, right there. 1, 2, 3, man.
No, that ain't gonna do you no good. You got to give him time to get high, man. You need to be like a mile
inside
down the
the
road,
big and tall man store.
or
You'll
2
find a
miles
pizza.
down the road. But anyway, get into real news instead of stupid crap. They got a lot of stuff going on with people. I mean, really and truly.
Marijuana is not stupid crap.
Yeah, marijuana is until the feds make it.
Have respect for the flower, man.
That's right. Well, until they do something, it's still what it is.
And anal sex. You should crusade for anal sex in Mississippi and
ain't nobody worried about anal sex. Ain't nobody down here worried about that. He said, "I know."
I bet because they probably don't know that they're breaking the law.
They're just worried that you're so interested in it. That's all. That's all they're worried about.
If they're smoking marijuana and anal sex, isn't Coors beer illegal there too? Was that is Dukes of Hazzard or what was that?
What are you talking about?
That was Smokey and the Bandit, one of my favorite.
Oh man, we're gonna get into where booze is illegal. That's mainly up north, man.
Eastbound.
There's not much in the way of drought counties in the south anymore. Haven't been for a long time.
Nah, I know.
But
Tennessee's back.
Anyway, right? I ain't talking anymore. I'm going back to doing the news. I don't know this guy. Y'all just ignore him. It's so I want to talk about Biden and all his backlashes. And I'm going to talk about Biden and all his backlashes and all his shit about talking about everybody. I've been watching his poll numbers just steady sink. I see there's several different groups out there that are protesting now because it's just outright attack on the American public.
You know who disappeared was Kamala. Where's she been?
No, she's been all over the place, man. She was just in NASA. She was all. Oh yeah, man, you've been paying attention. Apparently, she's been all over the place.
Is she the one trying to clear that valve in NASA and that rocket, man?
She's the one that wanted to clear.
They're trying to clear that valve.
So her new deal is if you make under $100,000 a year, you should pay 5% more taxes than you do now. So
raise taxes.
Yeah. So and then you got Biden saying, well, we're not taxing anybody under 400,000, but when you read the bill, he's taxing everyone under 400,000.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just one straight lie after another straight lie.
Yeah, they lie. They lie. And then the liberal media carries it and they lie, and then they embellish it, which they lie some more. So that's what you got. It's all, it's all one big giant shit sandwich.
Actually, Georgie, Trump's probable following is probably around 90 million. He had 83.5 million vote for him in the election, or 82.5 vote for him in the election. And there's probably another 10 or 15 million on top of that.
If he can keep it together and play the victim for a minute with this FBI crap, especially since the FBI has been outed about protecting Hunter and doing all this other stuff that they've been doing, if he can keep it together and just say, look, I told you so, things were good with me, we have a good plan, and he picks a banging VP, then he has a good chance of winning if he keeps it together. Right?
And I agree, he's got to keep it together. And then here's more stories about growing backlash. And then we got FBI and Facebook handling of laptop story as political corruption. So now people are starting to call out the FBI for political corruption. So, see, once the people get involved, somebody's got to go to jail. So what they usually do...
Dude, if you can't trust the FBI, I mean, really.
You can trust the FBI. You just can't trust the top people at the FBI.
You're talking about one of the pillars of justice. It has several pillars keeping up that house. You can't have a weakness in the FBI like that, especially one that plays political favorites and is going to lie, obstruct the evidence. Everything that these guys broke laws, huge felonies, but yet, where are they? I see them being called out, but it's just people are losing faith. Is all I'm saying. People are losing faith.
Now here's your favorite governor candidate, Abrams. Illegal immigrants should be able to go to college. Yeah, she said they should be able to go to college on your tax money, buddy. On your tax money. I don't care.
I bet she can make some nice food, man. I bet she makes some good. I bet she makes some good mac and cheese. No, she seems like someone who knows how to make mac and cheese. You know what? She'd be appreciative, Joe.
She's been falling pretty hard in the polling numbers lately. And I guess statements like that's not going to help her.
She's outspending that other dipshit 3-1.
It's because she got Soros in them, and that's something else we've been talking about. It really and truly, all the states need to pass laws the feds have passed a law where you cannot have outside money in an inside state election. If it's not a federal election, there should be no money allowed to swap hands. There should be no outside money going to a governor candidate because that's just the same as bribery, basically. So I don't even know why that's allowed, and it's just some of those things that needs to be addressed.
She wants free
well, liberals
college
would lose hands down. That's why.
Free college for illegal aliens and all that. I'm not against helping people out if they're truly joining our nation, but I think it all starts with the military, and they need to go and serve. They need to understand. They need to be able to speak English and understand what they're saying, what they're doing, what they're writing. And assimilate to the basic. America is multicultural, but we have a flow of English and a flow of understanding. So, but in the Spanish community, there's a large part that doesn't speak English. That to me is a problem.
So a judge tosses Trump's Russia investigation lawsuit against Clinton. Why? I mean, there's no doubt she did that. She put it up there. I mean, why would you toss it? Did it word it right or something?
He's paid for.
I mean that's paid for. And now they're telling the DAJ not to appeal because it's just a waste of money.
The judges that are bought and paid for are now exposing themselves. They really they're not hiding anymore. They're putting it all out there to see. You can see how they rule is how they are, right? They're bought and paid for.
A lot of them. I mean, when you look at how some of this stuff goes, you got to kind of wonder what's going on in our country. But you got different judges doing different things. They So I heard him bitching about Trump's judge, the one that look, he's allowing for the guy. Yeah, so they're saying how corrupt it made. Well, why aren't we talking about the first judge that issued the subpoenas? I mean, that's the guy who went on television and said he hated Trump's guts and Trump should be in jail. Yeah. Why wouldn't he have recused himself? And I would think a good lawyer, when it comes to push comes to shove in a case, could easily get that thrown out and say, "Well, Your Honor, come on."
Judges aren't allowed to be political. When I consider running for judge locally, and they're not allowed.
Well, that judge should have stepped down when he said that on television. What, a year ago?
Yeah, they're not allowed to align themselves. Even when Ginsburg, she made political comments, she got knocked back about making those political comments because they are not allowed to align themselves with politics. Even though, I mean, they could be Republican, they could be Democrat, and whatever. But it's just interesting how when they're running. But
can Munchkin take his vote back from that deal he made? Because he's getting screwed. He's not getting what he wanted out of Schumer. Lied his ass to him. What bothers me is Munchkin would even think that Schumer wouldn't lie.
I don't think the guy's smart enough to get a refund from Dunkin' Donuts, let alone
get his vote back. Dozens of House Democrats warned Pelosi against following through on Schumer's deal with Manchin. Oh man, look, I mean, if I was Manchin, I would not vote another thing for them. That means they won't get another thing passed. Period.
They're lost. You know what? The GOP's lost. They got problems.
But this ain't the GOP. This is the liberals, man. I mean, Munchin's the guy that Schumer, he would not sign for this big deal.
I'm saying the GOP needs to be more unified, and they have some weak links. Certainly, they need to figure out.
But I've seen more balls in the GOP this year than I have in a long time. I mean, Santa's got balls the size of freaking King Kong's.
Well, people are voting out. They're voting out the Liz Cheneys and such.
Yeah, they're getting them out, but they wouldn't vote in what's her name in Alaska. They put a Democrat in her place. What's that crazy bitch's name? Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin, because they hate her.
Yeah,
because she's fundamentally unlikable.
And the GOP need to learn which candidates. I mean, she's just not a candidate that should even been running. She should be retired.
I just got rid of somebody on Facebook because they look like her.
What's that? Let's see.
Couldn't handle it.
But I feel for this Manchin guy because, he held that all his time. Schumer blew all his smoke up his ass. Now it looks like he's not going to get what he was supposed to get out of this, which could cost him. He probably won't be – well, it might be good. Schumer just may have got us a red seat. He's a senator. So if Manchin screwed up in Virginia, he might get out, and there might be a red seat there. Well,
when you got Hochul calling for millions of GOP voters in New York to leave the state, that means they fear the GOP. When they strike out like that, that's their biggest fear. While Biden's going after the MAGA people, that's their biggest fear, is that's how they're going to lose And then for him to beat on them, it just unifies people, unifies them. They get together, they vote in bigger numbers, and I'm seeing liberal activists go into Republican crowds and come out a Republican and write about it, saying, I thought they were terrible. I thought they were racist. And I went and hung out with them. They're the nicest, kindest people you'll ever meet and all that. That's the deal because people believe the lie. They believe the lie, Joe. You got to take them to school.
Yeah, I was reading about this. Uh, so nearly a third of the Democrats warned Speaker Nancy Pelosi Friday against putting this deal into it. So what Manchin wants is he wants a little more drilling, a little let off the restrictions a little bit. So they're telling her they don't want to have to vote between more pollution or shutting down the government because they're going to shut down the government. So that's the end for the Democrats at midterm. Manchin's going to freak out. I don't think he's going to let this slide. So anything that they're voting on's got to go through the Senate now. He's not going to vote for it.
People aren't going to forget the way the Democrats have screwed things up. They're not going to forget it.
And he went on TV yesterday. I meant to tell you that he went on TV yesterday and said that the Inflation Reduction Act is not going to reduce inflation at all. That's not what it's actually designed to do. He said, I don't even know why it's called that. He's not the only Democrat that said that. And I noticed in a lot of the swing states, the Democrats are distancing themselves from this crap. They're saying, no, we don't want to be involved in that. We don't want, Joe Biden's not our candidate. They're trying to get away from it to save their seats. It's looking bad in a lot of states for the Democrats. I know the NBC and CNN want you to believe that they're going to win, but I'm not feeling it. It's looking pretty bad in a lot of states. And then screwing over your own people just tells us we don't want to vote for you even more.
They're in complete disarray. In the Democratic Party, you have several different arms and branches. I mean, the extremists, the non-extremists. I know a lot of Democrats who are not happy with anything going on, and they're actually, some of them are like really dismayed and also ashamed of what's happening. It's not what they signed up for, but they don't want to become a Republican, but they'll be middle of the road people for sure.
I don't. Yeah, see, Nancy's in a bind here. So if they don't put it in there and it doesn't pass, Manchin's not going to pass any more bills for the Democrats. That's it. They're done, no matter what it is. Look, they cut a deal in good faith. See, I think he should be able to take his vote back now and null void the bill. If they're not going to give him what he wanted, I think he should be able to take his vote back. So maybe he should sue because he was lying and say, hey, I want my vote back since I was lied to.
They misrepresented things, didn't they? I mean,
it's but it's not about horrible news right now. It's just stupid news. Ted Cruz nailed something fundamental about Donald Trump. I don't know what he's going on about.
I like the fact that in the Ukraine, they're retaking towns, cities that the Russians had taken over, and they're fighting on. They have better weapons. The Russians have tapped Soviet tanks and they're exploding. They bought a whole bunch They bought a whole bunch of drones from Iran. They're falling apart in the sky because they're junk, and the Russians are complaining about that. And the Russians don't have any troops left. They have a drive for troops, and nobody wants to do it. So, and one unit, that 279, that elite unit, is completely gone. So that's it for the Ukraine. I mean, Ukrainians are fighting hard.
The Ukrainians are fighting hard, but somebody said today they caught the general in control. I got to look it up. I hadn't a chance to look it up, but I remember hearing about it earlier today on the news.
Which general? For who?
The guy running it.
Running
the war against the Ukraine.
Oh, the general guy. Russian general.
Yeah, they caught him.
The big fat guy?
They captured him. Whoever he was, he got captured.
That big fat guy? They need a big truck to cart. That guy's like 500 pounds.
I don't know, but they said they captured him, so
he's full of borscht.
I don't know what the hell he was doing in the
Ukraine. It would be hard to have a 500-pound prisoner.
It's Supreme Court, Sotomayor lets.
I'm just saying.
Oh, wait a minute. Sotomayor sided against gay people? What's going on here?
Sodom and Gomorrah? What?
Yep. She was the deciding vote. Supreme Court, Sotomayor lets Yavesta University bar LGBT student club.
Sotomayor? Is that what you're saying?
Sotomayor. Sotomayor.
Sotomayor.
Yeah, I call Sotomayor.
Her name is Sotomayor.
She's man, she sided against her. I thought, oh, well,
she's Catholic. Let me tell you
sided
about
against
Catholics or people who have religious conviction. They're not down with all this other stuff, and that's what I get when I see all this. I'm like, that's against my religion. That's my new term. I have 2 new terms. When people ask me for advice, I say, get a hitman,
poor baby.
or the other one.
Oh, look at that, poor babies.
What baby?
I'm talking about the poor LGBTQs being discriminated against. We don't want these poor people being discriminated against. Everybody should have free rights. It was a Jewish college, by the way. That's why she agreed with it.
Of course. There's only 4 million Jews in the U.S., but they control an awful lot. They're a very powerful group of people. You have just religious arms that are so powerful, and that's a problem too if you think of it in terms of representation. Unless you're Jewish, then it works out really well for you.
Pence blasts Biden's Philly speech. Everybody's on Biden's ass. I don't know. I don't know who told him he should make that speech. That was just stupid all the way around.
The one where he threatened half of America, threatened us with our lives. That's what I heard. I heard, join us or die. Join us or be destroyed. Join us. I mean, we'll take your livelihood away. That's destroying. That's killing someone. A man's livelihood, a woman's livelihood is their life. Is their life. And for Biden to say these things and be so angry and focus that anger with that red background and all that and imageries and everything to these people, I felt, as a middle of the road person, I felt threatened. I felt like that, you have to join their view and their party and do what they say and their agenda. And if you're an original thinker, or if you're with a Trump or whatever the hell you're with, then you are the enemy. He made that clear of who the enemy was.
Oh man, since we talked last week, more Americans disapprove of Donald Trump's. This is Reuters, by the way, people. So this isn't, Reuters is really kind of left leaning, but
they become very liberal. Yeah.
Yes, they said 58% of America disapprove of Biden, only 39% approve.
I wouldn't believe any of that stuff. You know what? I talk to people and people tell me what they feel, and these are across the board people.
So Reuters had him at his lowest, which is just a month ago at 36, but he bounced back up to 41 2 weeks ago. But he's back down and he's fallen. He's not coming up. He's in a precarious situation. Most Americans see Trump's MAGA as a threat to democracy. Really? Where's that at?
See, I don't know how you can. I don't know how you can stretch that or figure that out. That MAGA people are a threat to democracy. What I see as a threat to democracy are, for instance, these criminals running through the streets, killing people, attacking people, robbing stores, doing all the things. That's a threat to democracy. Making the streets unsafe is a threat to democracy.
So,
taking more money from your pocket, your taxes, is a threat to democracy.
But that's just good publicity if that many Americans think that. But that's not what this poll shows. So right now, and this is Democrats and Republicans, 30% of America thinks the economy needs to be addressed. 36% of Republicans, 25% of Democrats. So that's actually 55%. But I don't know what the 30% is. But so the number one thing on this election is going to be the economy. If that's the case, it's going to be a wipeout for the midterm. Environment, they say, is next, which, by the way, Republicans and Democrats are equal. Only 14% each, by the way, are interested in the environment. The overall environment interest for the country is 8%. Abortion rights, everybody was going on and on and on about abortion rights. Abortion rights and crime are equal at 7%.
No one's even talking about it anymore.
Yeah, so it's at 7%. Immigration is at 6%. I would think that it's a bit high. Now these are Reuters numbers, and but still, Reuters is trying. I noticed Reuters and CNN. It's hard on their asses, but they are trying to get more in the middle because they realize that America is disgusted of all the lies.
But yet they have the Trump butthurt syndrome, and they can't leave him alone. They have to be negative towards Trump. You can just read any article from these people, anything that they do, and it's all negative. But what? So in his administration, what did he do that was wrong? Did he hurt our economy? Did he get us in a war? Did he destroy us in any possible way? Did he hurt us in any possible way? So they're just saying, I don't like him. I don't like him, which is fine. But his administration was top notch. It was top flight. His administration, they did a lot of things.
just to help you with what you're saying. So this is the New York Post poll. It says 60% of Americans say Biden's attack on Trump mega will further divide the country, and another 28% are undecided. So that only leaves 12% people that thought what
have
he
you
did
know
was a good idea.
that Joe Biden set the stage for a civil war? They're talking about civil war. The Republicans aren't talking about civil war. Nobody in the GOP is mentioning it. And no MAGA people are talking about it. This is Joe Biden trying to push it. Yeah, so they want January 6th. They want more of a ruckus like that. They want more problems. The problem is, at some point, the majority of the country is going to look at the Democratic Party as exactly what they are and how dangerous they become to our freedom and our democracy, and they're going to vote the other way, and the Democrats are going to have to sort themselves out. But look at what they've done, man. I mean, it's shocking. It really is. And they actually say they're representing us. I don't know who they're representing. It's not us.
Yeah, they're not. No, they're not. They're representing themselves, and their power is what they're representing. So if this is Rasmussen, this is Trump. This is Trump versus Biden right now. They are. Trump is 47. Biden is 45. That's their current approval ratings. And I keep hearing Biden's way the hell ahead of Trump. Obviously, that's not true. That's as of when is this? This is September 7th. That's where they're sitting. So Biden had jumped up on him, but then he fell back down. So they're really just kind of running along. Thing. Biden was way up to at 60%, and Trump was down at that just shows you the difference. And Trump dropped around, and then Trump went back up. But right now, his total approval rating for Trump is 48%, and Biden's is 44 in Rasmussen. So obviously, it ain't the runaway election that the Democrats want you to think it is. It's let's see right now. What is it? Trump's disapproval rating right now is 24%, and Biden's is 43% on this poll. This obviously must be a conservative poll. That's all I can think of. Rasmussen must be a conservative poll. So, people, it looks right now, if there was an election today, it would be an interesting fight. Carol, again, nice to see you right in. And no, I don't like her. At least the redheaded chick, knew how to spin shit. This girl just lies and lies and lies and lies and lies. She don't even try to tell you the truth. Plus, when you ask her about her own stuff, she's nuts. She is doing some really good drugs. Is she an American citizen? Mike, she's an American citizen?
Who?
What's her name? Jean, whatever her name is. I can't
Jean
ever
Pierre,
remember. Yeah, Jean Pierre. I can't ever remember.
I don't know what she is. I know she's cute, though. She's like a little Cupid doll. She's cute to be, man. That's why they put her in there. That redhead one was the worst. Oh, my God. Couldn't even look at her.
Yeah, see, this is one of them ones. Oh, Trump leads Biden by as large as 42 to 48, but that's not what the other poll we just seen said. This one's only about 3%. This one's about 2%. So Biden's lead is in the plus or minus margin. And, of course, any self-respecting liberal poll is going to have Biden ahead, or at least going to try to have him ahead. It's not always easy because he's in pretty bad shape right now.
He hasn't even announced he was going to run yet, Trump, and Biden's got a long way to go. Yeah. Plus, he's a sickly old man. That's why, he was flying on drugs when he made that speech. I saw his eyes, man. He was out there. Like, they're going to pump him up before he goes out there because he's a frail, messed up old man with cognitive problems.
Biden's best approval rating is on NPR, and it's 45%. That's people
liberal NPR.
I know. Most people, let's see, Reuters has him at 39. The Triangle Group got him at 39. Several have him at 39. 11 have him at 40 and 41.
NPR is for extremist liberals. It's not for anybody else.
But wait now. So when you get back in here, you've got his best disapproval. His best disapprover is 55%. I don't think he. No, I think he. I don't know how he thinks
he's functioning in negative numbers, and things aren't going to get better. Let me tell you, man. We're on the verge of all these terrible things, and things are actually happening. Look at California. Look at the heat wave. That's just a sliver, a slice of what people are going to be experiencing. Buy an electric car. Oh, there's a heat wave. You can't charge your car. Lower your thermostat. Then Governor Newsom.
Governor Newsom. How ignorant are you? well, we're going to get rid of gas and we're going to get rid of all this. So what you're going to do is basically you're going to tell your citizens they can't drive in the summertime?
Oh no, even gets even better, dude. I'll tell you how ignorant he is. Then he gives a press conference in a blasting air conditioning room where he had to wear a fleece jacket to go on to tell people to raise their thermostats, shut their power off, and do all these things. So you suffer, I'm doing all right. F you, have a good night. F you very much. And that's pretty much his message.
Oh man, Reuters economic poll got him at 38%. Man, that's a lot of them got him at 39. Politico's got him at 39. Damn. Oh man, it's a couple of them got him at 38. Dude, he's in. I don't know. NBC's. We're talking NSNBC's only got him at 42.
I don't know anybody voting for him.
NSNBC's lying as much as they can, and at 42 they're lying, but they still that's as best they can do.
Did you see his Labor Day message? His little thing. There was like maybe 12 people there or something. He can't even attract a crowd or group. He's the president, for God's sakes, and he can't attract a group. So it'll be interesting. I don't think Biden's going to have the gas to run, literally, to get through the election.
Here you go. This is today's from Reuters. This was taken 1,300 adults living in the U.S., 397 Democrats, 411 Democrats, 397 Republicans, 195 Independents. His approval rating is 39%. 61% of them said the mega speech has severely divided the country and may help for Trump to win by rallying his support.
It pushed me over.
That's an MSN poll, yeah.
And that's it pushed me over. Right? You know what?
I don't know what to tell you guys.
It drew a line in the sand. It really did.
It did. It did, and it was just whoever told him he should do that was just wrong. It's not going to help him long term. It's just going to bite him in the ass. And
he probably didn't even know what the hell he was reading while he was reading it. Off his teleprompter. But Biden's an idiot, and the whole thing. They're all puppets. They're all puppets being controlled from the big power. So whatever, man. I see it as a huge mess. It's going to be more of a mess. I don't know how the Democrats are even going to allow him to run, especially with with FBI getting involved. We have to know who knew, if Biden knew, and they tried to suppress all this and obstruction of evidence, and also how far it goes. All these things need to be found out. This is something way above what even they accuse Trump of. They still can't figure out about his documents and what was illegal and what was this and what was that. You know what I mean?
You heard what that admiral said. He said he was pissed. He said, "Wait a minute. Let me understand this. You have unclassified FBI agents looking at top secret government information." He said they don't even have classified. This guy was pissed. He said they don't have the classification to be looking at this. Whose idea was this? So there's other backlashes yet to come out of this, because he was kind of like, whoa, wait a minute. Because, they are classified. Even the DOJ's classification is not high enough to look at these documents. So how are they letting just lowly FBI people look at them? So now they're really pissed. So I don't know what that's going to come out of that. That's going to come down the line later on. I don't know what's going to come out of, oh, here you go. Here's your girlfriend again. Why Meghan Markle might not attend the Queen. Who gives a shit? Nobody even likes Meghan Markle. Now let's look at this one. Russian troops deserting in the face. Oh, my God. In face of the counteroffensive. So the Ukrainians put on a counteroffensive and everybody's hauling ass, huh? So in this article, it's talking about in this last war, 200 of the Russian soldiers retreated away from it. 100 just surrendered. Some of them want to fight for the Ukraine. But it's making me nervous because Putin's not a nice guy. Oh wait, here we go. Here's a follow-up. Putin ally reportedly admits to making mistakes and are worried in light of the Ukraine military gains. Because you're going to die just like everybody else has.
Well, this is what's happening there, right? We're headed into winter. The winters there are incredibly harsh and horrible, especially that northern part of Europe, where they shut down gas pipelines, they shut down other fuels. These countries are going to have a hard time just, keeping people warm. So all this is going to happen and put pressure on the whole thing. The ground's going to freeze there. It's going to put more pressure on the troops, especially Russian troops. They don't want to be there. One passionate troop fighting for his country is worth 20 paid troops that don't want to be there. And then a lot of them aren't getting paid. Their tanks are blowing up. We just gave them a whole bunch of more shipments of those razors and crazers and crazens and raisins and whatever, man. Here's this missile, that missile, and dude. That's our junk. That's the stuff. That's the first stuff we use. It's kind of funny that Russia and China both have to sit back and say the United States. Oh my God. So now did you see Japan is making all these missile boats, and they're going to be done in a couple of days. You know how fast they are. And so in a direct response to China, Japan, for the first time since World War II, they weren't allowed to do anything like this. Are making these massive.
They really still aren't supposed to be doing without our permission.
They have our permission. Massive super carriers, missile boats. So I think that China needs to understand that right there is that Japan, they don't mess around. The Japanese don't mess around. They got a 96% conviction rate in Japan if you commit a crime. And a watermelon costs $1 million.
That watermelon. I see Putin
it's square.
I see Putin gave his condolences to the Queen.
Yeah, but did you see he didn't honor the other dude, man, with the poop on his head?
This story's. Oh yeah, I know. Well, he I don't know why. No. He's the one. He wouldn't have even had his job.
You know what? He didn't even allow him a public viewing there. So there's some stuff there. He didn't visit him. He didn't go to the funeral. No public viewing.
Yeah, because if Putin would rather Russia be the communist, the Soviet.
Right, Putin. That's Putin's world. So he needs to reject anybody. Needs to reject anyone that went that direction, which shows you his mindset.
Their allies are saying he might have a year if he's lucky.
Ukraine looks like they're going to take. If they can take Crimea and they can take these areas back, I mean, wow, that's pretty heavy.
I haven't seen any of Russia's big shit come out yet. Unless they just don't have. I haven't seen any of their really good.
They just rolled 2 of these super carriers that they from the Soviet era. I think they're from 1981. they retrofit them. They're nuclear powered, but it's enriched in uranium, so it's very difficult for them to function and operate. In these terms today, they carry a lot of armament. They're top heavy, all that stuff. So they're rolling them out, but. The other side says, yeah, we can, sink them pretty easily with a torpedo.
So here's another.
They got those Neptunes. This is the deal. The Ukrainians are using an American tactic. When we were fighting the British, Americans hid in the bushes, in the trees, and whatever, and whipped out their guns and shot them back. Ukrainians have these shoulder-launched weapons, man. I mean, it's very difficult. Oh, did you see about the HIMARS? The system, so Ukrainians built fake HIMARS, so the Russian planes are blowing up these wooden HIMARS, thinking that they're the rocket systems, man, while they're moving these other things around. These guys are smart. They're sharp in all this. I like the strategy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's I don't know. All this stuff is getting crazy lately with the Ukraine. This is another one. Wait, I'll read that one in a minute. Oh, wait, I got to read this one first. Biden's speech worked. Nearly 6 in 10 Americans agree mega is a threat. By the way, this is off a salon. This is so left. So if they're saying 6 in 10, that means it's like 2 in 10.
That's salon.
Salon is so left that it's not. And if that's the best they can come up with, that's just sad.
We don't like Trump. It's salon.
Munchin's approval and free fall. Yeah, Munchin's approval rating, Manchin's approval ratings, and free fall after inflation. You probably cost yourself your job, dude. I think he realizes it now too. He should have never gave in. Ukrainians cheer Russian defeat after General told Putin they backed war. Wait, what? People, learn how to write an article. Ukrainians cheer Russia's defeat after General told Putin they backed war.
A lot of these articles are written by AI systems these days. You know that? So that's why if they're choppy like that, it's usually AI malfunction. But yeah, that's
wait a minute. I got to read this. Wait a minute. Video footage from Ukraine appears to show residents in areas previously occupied by Russian troops cheered as they're liberated by the Ukrainian socials. Also, you see Russian troops cheering as they're liberated from the Russian army. What the hell? Jesus, people. Oh, man. Because they don't want to fight. A lot of these kids don't want to die over something. I mean, Ukrainian was part of the Soviet Union. They don't want to kill these people. They're practically Russians.
Saddam Hussein had the Republican Guard, right? The fourth largest army in the world that he boasted. When we went in there, much of those people surrendered. They didn't even fight. They threw down their guns and surrendered. They didn't have the heart to fight. They didn't want to do that, be part of it, or they didn't want to get slaughtered. Especially what I think people don't understand the power. If we gave the Ukraine a bunch of Apache helicopters, this thing would have been over and done with a long
Yeah,
time
but
ago.
we just
So
started a nuclear war, so we couldn't do that.
but it's the balance of power, isn't it? It's power. So then this guy's got nuclear missiles, that guy's got nukes, and they're not afraid to use those nukes. And
I bet you Ukraine regrets giving all their nukes back to Russia.
well, I
People
think
forget the Ukraine's
I,
a
I think
buttload of
what
nukes.
you have to look at alternate means of attack. The fentanyl in the United States of America that's killing so many, and then innocent people getting it, just touching it and dying and things like that. That's happening. The whole COVID thing as the economic killer it was, in the United States and around the world and other places that some places won't even be able to make a comeback, and it's still out there alive and well. So there's things like that. You know what I mean? There's other attacks that if you want to look at China as the aggressor, they're the ones who mainly make this fentanyl. So, and then
I
the
would look
open
at China
border,
as in deep shit is what I would look at.
the
China
open
is in
border,
deep
people
trouble.
are smuggling it over.
I
So
mean,
I mean, they, and we need, we just need to tuck in, and it's kind of funny that I don't think conservatives are
oh
asking for anything that's
wait,
more than what's there. They're
you're
just
gonna love
asking
this
for
one.
enforcement.
You're gonna love this one.
Yeah.
You're just gonna. This is from Newsweek, a decent source. Russians deploy helicopters to capture their own fleeing deserters. Not to fight with the Ukraine, but to capture their deserters.
You must
They,
contain our troops and keep fighting on. Oh boy. We
oh
thought
man.
Russia was a huge power and a badass. I mean, to hear people talk about it and kind of say, "Wow, look
But
look
I've
at
been
how
saying
weak
this for
look at how
years.
weak
I
they
mean,
really are."
no, but I've
That's
been saying this for
weakness.
years. Russia's got 180 million people in it. Like 100 million of them are over the age of 55. They're not going to fight.
Yeah.
So that leaves you X, and half of them are below the age of 12 or so. There's only really, truly, Ukrainian and Russia is not that far unevenly matched. There's about 30 million each to fight, and the Ukrainians want to fight, and the Russians don't. And now, when Russia was a Soviet Union, it was a powerful country with a strong navy and a strong military, but still, it would have never went up against the United States because it would have lost. Seeing this just shows the world, like, oh my God, not only would they have lost, they would have lost faster than Iraq did or Iran did. So
The Russian people don't want the Soviet
now
Union back.
China,
They want democracy.
yeah, but China's got to be rethinking this now because this was supposed to be China's ally against the United States. So the only thing Russia can really bring to the table anymore is 4,000 nukes or 5,000 nukes. So this is the real question: how many of them nukes are feasible? Because we've seen,
Well,
was it the
they
year
use them.
before
We
last,
use them
we've
and all
seen
that. That
failed
that
launches.
nobody wins a nuclear war, really.
But that's not the question because if once launched, it doesn't matter. It's
Right.
how many can Russia actually launch that we can't sit down? Well, first off, I've heard surveys saying that Russia will not even get more than 1/3 of their missiles off the ground, and even out of that 1/3 they do, probably half of them will fail on detonation. He said a lot of these missiles are just like their tanks and shit. They're 50, 60 years old now, and they've just been sitting on a shelf or sitting on a warhead, being taken off, put back, taken off, clean. But everybody forgets for 3 decades Russia had no money to keep up with this. They've just now got money to start dealing with their nukes,
I'm sure
and
that you have agents, within the CIA that are reaching out, talking to who they think is going to take over for Putin, because there is going to be an end to Putin, and then when that next leader comes over, you're going to need a smooth transition, and then they're going to pull out. The oligarchs, they're suffering, they're losing their ships, they're losing their money, and if this drags on any further, it hasn't been a year yet, but you get to that year point, that's a long time for this destruction to be going on. And with the Ukrainians taking back so much land, punishing the Russians, blowing up their stuff, blowing up their generals, blowing up their colonels, sending people packing. These troops are crying. A lot of them are very young because they lost all these other soldiers. And wow, you thought that they had so many. They're listed as having 2.5 million. But and from what I see, they sent about 130, 150,000 about that into the theater, but they lost most of their tanks. They lost most of their support vehicles. Their lines of support. It's a losing venture. The only thing you could do is pull back and grow and get stronger. You know,
But they're not going to
but
pull
yeah,
back now because the Ukrainians will come after them.
right.
The Ukrainians have taken they've taken 1,000 kilometers, about 500 miles of territory they've taken.
But I'm
back
saying
now.
Russia has lost the ability to shore up their borders to pull back. You know, they've lost their ability. They're vulnerable now. They're very vulnerable. And if somebody else decides to march in there and attack or mess around or do whatever, because you know they got issues with Georgia, they got issues around with other theaters. You know, I'm telling you that this people are watching. Let's just say that people are watching. The China's watching too, messing around with Taiwan, you know, poking them with a stick and all that. If China was serious, they would have went in there already.
Well,
When
no,
people make the
China's
threat,
scared. China don't want to get into this mess that Russia's into. Jesus, they thinking, oh my God, no, we don't want to get into this mess.
no, they'll get pounded. They think that they're strong. They're not. Their troops don't even want to fight. You know, they don't want any
But
part
I'm
of
talking
it.
about China. China does not want to get
Yeah,
into what
China.
Russia's in.
Chinese troops don't. The people in PLA don't want to fight. They
No, they
don't
don't want
want
to
to fight
fight
Americans. They don't want a war.
because
They want to be.
they watch you know people don't realize, but the world's watched America for the last 60 years just dominate, and we're not going to stop
Here's a
anytime
news
soon.
flash for everyone out there. The Chinese don't hate us. They don't hate the U.S. They don't
No,
hate
they
the
want to
world.
be us. That's the problem.
Right.
They
They
want to
want to be.
surpass us.
They want to have good food, good water. They want to have clean air to breathe.
They want to
You
be
know,
Americans. That's what they want to
they
be.
deserve it. They deserve to have those freedoms. And there's their government that's keeping them back. It's their government that's making them suffer and controlling them. That's what the deal is with China. Same thing for Russia.
Oh yeah.
But they're moving towards democracy. I have
China
friends
don't
who live in
realize it, but
Russia.
if China would just become a democracy, then they'd have it made. They would surpass
I
us
have
easily.
friends in Russia, and they say people aren't really being informed, which is that they cut off their internet, you know, so there's no outside news headlines coming in or whatever. They're controlling everything, and then in the local news, they talk about the Ukraine as the aggressor, the Nazis who attacked Russia. That's what the narrative is.
Well, yeah. Well, they were saying that that's the reason they were going into Ukraine was because of the Nazis. That was the whole thing. What the hell is this? Okay, hold on. Let's stop this. We're gonna play this right quick. I want to hear this. How do I get back in here? Is it in here? I'll turn up the volume and hit play.
I hear nothing, nothing. I hear it in the background. It's not clicked on the screen, man. You got to click that.
She just found out that the Queen died.
Your volume's off on the clip.
I can hear it good.
The lower right, yeah, but I can't hear.
It's on here. Let's make sure. Maybe it's not clicked. Let's go see. Hold on. Where's the share button?
It's gone. No Jay tonight, man. I know he's been working overtime as a lawyer for fetuses. You know that? And there's a lot of action out there, he says. They need representation.
Yeah. Well, why can't you hear it? They can hear it.
I can't hear it. If I can't hear it, they can't hear it.
No, they can hear it. I just had people tell me they can hear it. I don't know why you can't hear it.
No, I can't hear it.
They were hearing pretty good, apparently. It's let me turn it off now because we're not watching anymore. But
I'm on the air.
That was Jean there, and she was talking about the Reduction Act, which nobody cared about. And somebody said, "Well, what about the Queen's death?" And she's like, well, "What do you mean?" She's like, "What about the Queen's death?" Well, has it been confirmed? Yeah, it's been confirmed. So wait, this woman going on stage, and the Queen had died a couple of hours before this, and had no idea that the Queen had died. This is the woman who tells you that no one's crossing the border. This is the woman that says that we have more oil than we need and gas prices aren't expensive.
I was watching the news earlier, and the governor of Georgia, was it Kemp, whatever, and he's like, "We're here mourning the loss of the Queen." I'm like, what are you talking about? More in Georgia, Georgians are mourning the
Now,
loss of
some
the
of us
Queen.
love the
Oh my
Queen. Thank
God.
you very much. Some of us love the Queen. The Queen is cool. She's our Queen too. Even though I was reminded we're not part of the Commonwealth. And yes, I said we most certainly are part of the Commonwealth. We're just a quiet part of the Commonwealth.
You're way off base, man. We had a whole war to get rid of their asses, and the
No,
only
no,
queen
no.
I got,
Yeah. Think
only
about what
queen
you
I
just
got
said.
is Queen
No,
Latifah.
think about what you just said. We did a whole war to get it away from the asses, and what did we do at World War II? Jumped so far up their ass we couldn't separate ourselves from them if we had to.
We saved their ass in World War II. They didn't
Yeah,
save
but
us.
we became
They didn't save us in World
so
War II.
entangled with their military and their money that
We
without
had
them
to.
we would be at
We
loss.
had
No, we
to.
didn't have to. We just did it because we love them.
We
We just
love the
loved the
British.
Brits. We missed them, so we went back to being part of the
We
Queen.
loved
We
them.
loved it. That's right. We loved them, so we went back to just with the unspoken Commonwealth.
We're going to let them get their asses kicked.
Russia reinforces Kyiv to counter on Ukraine push. Ooh, look at these badass missile launches they bringing in.
But nobody needs a monarchy. Nobody needs royals. The British colonization and all that stuff and everything they've gotten involved and all the people that died and suffered, and then they're just a bunch of goofy inbreds. So yeah. Nobody needs it.
Oh wait, now one of the CNN's reporters died. Man, they're just losing people left and right.
Was it that Don Lemon? Did he commit suicide?
No.
Wait. I see that guy jumping off the Empire State Building.
Wait a minute now. North Korea allows automatic nuclear strikes to protect Kim.
Ooh.
Now you see, Trump would have been
all over that shit. Don't they realize that they're going to nuke him too? They want to send soldiers. He pledged 100,000 soldiers to Russia. Russia will tap them. They'll take them. But these soldiers also they're not seasoned. They don't know how to fight. They don't understand a war. They've never had one. They're North Korea. They just stand on the border and stare people down. That it's not a staring war. I've done that when I had a cat. stare. I have a staring war with them. That was my life. But you know what? Staring war is not going to work. And the real soldiers shoot real bullets. And these Ukrainians are going to be like, you're coming to destroy my country, you're going to die. And that's their attitude. Hey, man. So they've lasted this long.
So we're sending all of our armed vehicles over to the Ukraine, all our old ones.
That's good. We're clearing
Biden wants to start World War II. Let me tell you something, Michael. The first time a piece of U.S. equipment crosses the border of Russia, we're at war.
It's already happened.
We're going to war. No, it hasn't happened.
It has happened.
Putin already made a big speech.
Russia's also crossed the border into Poland, by accident.
That's not our problem. That's NATO's problem.
The Ukrainians took our HIMARS and then sent those missiles into Russia, who blew up
that's when Putin stopped them. Putin got on television and actually called Biden and told him, if another one crosses in our territory, we will consider it an act of war. And it hasn't been one since.
But if we are the arms dealer that I think we are, they should be able to buy whatever they want to buy from us. Right?
Yeah, but that's not the way that works.
Hey, Jay!
That ain't the way that works.
Jay's trying to get on there, man. There he is.
What you doing, Uncle Jay?
Hey, guys.
Just getting off work, baby?
Just got here.
Very hard.
Stop taking him out, doofus.
Can you add him?
Yeah, he's in. You just kept taking him out.
I'm not trying to add him. You're trying to add him.
We're looking at these what are these things we just sent to Russia? To Ukraine. What are these things? M113Ss. Active duty Army and Army National Guard vehicles. 200 we're going to send of them.
M1 tanks?
No, M113Ss. They're not tanks. They're some kind of...
It's like a half track?
Yeah, no, I guess they are some kind of a tank. They're just not a big tank.
Yeah, it's not the Abrams. It's like the one before.
Yeah, it looks like a piece of crap, actually. What's it called? Why we're getting rid of them. There are M113Ss.
Let me see.
They're from the Army National Guard. They're troop carriers, I think. They said said carrier, so they're probably armored carriers. What they are?
Yeah, it looks like carrier.
Yeah, they probably got a small gun in the front or something now that you can't
50
see.
caliber, it looks like.
Yeah, that's what it probably is. It's they're probably bad to the bone. I mean, I see they got the exploding armor on them, so when you shoot them, it explodes out.
Looks like they move pretty fast.
It's they're probably pretty comfortable. But so we're sending that over there so they can move around. But we can't just be giving them weapons that can go blowing up in Russia.
You know what? They also have free MTV, which is pretty freaking cool. You know what I mean?
So,
you got to give them credit.
So how long is this Lisinski guy going to be president?
As long as he lasts. What's anything worth is what people will pay. Woohoo!
Oh, wait. Here's Russia again. Wait, Russia and U.S. clash over Western weapons in the Ukraine. See, this is a good way to get a war started. We got to watch. We need to, and I don't understand why we don't do this. We need to let Europe send them stuff, not us. Because Russia don't feel, see, it's a loss of face when America sets it up. It's not a loss of face when the idiots in Europe do. That's how Russia looks at Europe.
Oh, wait. Here's another article. Here's another article about the M113. U.S. National Guard's aging battle taxis find new use in Ukraine.
That's what I'm saying.
So basically, that's what you got.
Did they actually say battle taxi?
Battle taxi.
That's what they are. So we sent them over there.
Battle taxi.
Well, that's just because some army guy said, "Hey, let's send these over there. We can get new ones now." That's what that was all about, man. That
you
wasn't
didn't hear what I said
Ukraine.
before. You were reading that the Ukrainian troops have built wooden HIMARS systems. So they're planting them all around the Ukraine. So the Russian planes think they're real and they're bombing these cardboard HIMARS or wooden HIMARS. It's hysterical, man. And the real ones, we actually gave them a whole bunch of that mounted on the back of a pickup truck. Rednecks would love that. Can you imagine? with lots of Saturday night right there. Redneck land. I got my HIMARS, baby. Let's go blow something up.
This Russian guy said we ain't even put in our good stuff yet. We getting ready to start sending our good stuff. I'm like, yeah.
What good stuff? It's gone. They're tapping Soviet.
No, I noticed we did that though in Desert Storm and all. We used all our crappy shit first. Then we started sending our good stuff over there. And that's probably what he's doing.
The initial attack was the F-117s to take out their Air Force. Yeah. Then the crappy stuff came in. The A-10
But you believe the lie, Joe. It's not about that. It's about they lost all their generals.
I know
lost
the
all
Russians.
Their colonels.
I know
they
the
lost
Russians
all their troops.
I know the Russians have been making $2.5 trillion a year off their fuel. So I know they're finding
they're finding cell phones from these Russian troops with messages to their families crying, saying they don't know why they're there. They want to go home. You know what? They want to give up. I mean, that's but every time they put a general in, they explode.
That's right. I mean,
sometimes you gotta wonder if these Russians aren't setting these generals up. Oh wait, here you go. Russian officials propose overthrowing Putin, charging him with treason. Ooh, I don't know how his nuclear football works. That could be dangerous.
Yeah, where did that come from? Did that come out of Russia or did that come out of somewhere else?
That's a Newsweek. It says a group of Russian officials have appealed to the country state Duma to remove President Vladimir Putin from power and charge of high treason. A document shared by one of the Russian deputies who co-signed the proposal. Oh shit, that's serious. That's inside his country. That's people taking their own lives in their hand there.
Yeah.
It says a group of Russian officials have appealed to the state. They're trying to get rid of him. In a tweet published on Wednesday, Nikita Yafucha.
If they can push this off on Putin, they can save Russia. But if they can't, you know what? But if it continues, I mean, the Russia's done. Economically and being any kind of power in this world. So I don't know.
So wait, this guy he's the deputy of Smolensk in St. Petersburg. These are officials. These are serious officials that are sending this in. They want him charged with treason. There is a bunch of them too from several different provinces. So he can't go around killing all of these. That might start a war inside his own country.
I'll see you in the gulag. Say hello to Brittany Griner.
They're saying that he did not have the support of the people in the invasion of the Ukraine, and that we should not be in the Ukraine. His decision to start military operations led to the death of Russian servicemen, Russian equipment, and has helped the expansion of NATO all the way around their country.
We'll see. You're damn right. The very thing that he didn't want is what he got.
But based on their government system, they don't get the people don't have a say. He can do whatever he wants with the troops, right?
Yep,
pretty much. But he also said that it also helped Ukraine get $40 billion in weapons and growing. So they're right.
Money.
I mean, he's
not just weapons, money too.
He's hurting their country, but more than likely, most of these guys who signed this will end up dead somewhere, run off a road or something.
I think that Jay needs to expand his practice to the Ukraine, because I know that there's a lot of fetuses there that need representation, man. And I'll go be your driver. I'll be the driver. Yeah. You be the fetus attorney, and we're gonna go and help those people.
Yeah, we can also open up a whole new line of K visas so that those girls can come over here and get married.
Yeah, a lot of attractive Ukrainian women, even though I haven't seen any yet.
There are some pretty ladies over there, that's for damn sure.
I've seen them lined up, but I'm not seeing the ones they're talking about. Right. Not the ones who email me. I'm looking for a date, honey. Look. I had this Russian chick hit me up.
You gave out the wrong email then.
Remember back with Google, what was it, Yahoo Groups. They had Yahoo Groups, right? There was some group I was in, and then this chick, really gorgeous, of course, whatever, and then she's like, starts talking to me. She's from Kazakhstan and like all this stuff. So I like just kind of going along, laughing about it. And then she's like, "Could you send me $750?"
Yeah, that's the pinch right there.
I'm like, "Do you need help? Should I call the FSB? Is there a problem, man?" Because the FSB, man. That's FSB is KGB. What KGB? Mm-hmm. It's their security bureau. And then she flipped out. "You bore!" She called me a bore. I had to look it up.
All right, let's see. Where are we at? How much time we got? Okay.
So when I got cursed out, especially from like the Indian telemarketers, man, when they straight up give me the F word, I feel like that's a victory right there. You know what I mean? Because I have a lot to say to them, and oh my God, this one guy's like, "I am totally offended." I'm like, "You called me." Oh my God! I won't repeat what I say to them. Of course,
you probably can on air anyway.
I will release a manual though for people who are curious about $1 for the manual. You know what I mean? Like 100 great responses.
Already, we were just talking about them officials, right? Russian official who plotted to overthrow Putin, summoned by police. This story ain't even hit the press, and they're already after this guy. I mean, I don't know how you get ahead in Russia. I mean, he's got too much control, man.
See, the way you get ahead in Russia is you do something like this, and then Putin sends a secret police after you, and they lop your head off. That's how Putin gets ahead in Russia.
Most people now think the United States is headed for a recession, regardless of what.
We're already in one.
So these are the Democrats now whining about it.
Yeah, Russian.
Here's a good girlfriend for you, Mike. The View host Sonny Hudson criticizes Queen Elizabeth for crown of privilege jewel.
I just got a new job as general in Russia. Look at that. I've been looking for a long time, and then Department of Labor sent it to me.
Vladimir Muskinsky says
no experience
Ukraine
necessary.
Forces have taken more territory.
Yeah. I do have experience. They can look up my record in Command and Conquer, General Angley. Did phenomenal, man. I hold on to my resources. I kill the enemy. Tons of strategy. They can look me up in the risk too. Definitely qualifies me as a virtual general and or real if you don't happen to have one. And I'm the guy that you want to land the plane. I may not have flown a 747, but through the virtual reality, I know how to land one and take off. And take off and shoot people on the ground as I'm doing. A little Grand Theft Auto going on.
With the 747, though, they don't have bullets on them.
This is my.
I have my own little pistoli, man. You got to open. You got a little side. You got the side window. You know what I mean?
You're right.
You be able to
out the window.
This could be all we need for Trump to win with a landslide. Right here. Where can I put this? Where's the comment?
You can only reach the ground crew, unfortunately, but once you're up in the air.
There you go, Michael. This is all you need for Trump to win now. This is all it'll take. This one little sentence right here if it ever publishes.
What's the sentence?
See it? So it just popped up in the comment section on the page.
Oh.
You can't see it. You got to read it, man, to know what it is. Oh, man, we're going to do it.
Chad said those guys had a 30-millimeter cannon. 30-millimeter? It didn't look like it was that big. I don't know, man. I had a 30-millimeter round that somebody gave me.
We got to teach Mike how to read comments and the thing. What do you want, a phone or a computer or what?
This guy worked. He did the tech writing for the B-2 bomber. How cool is that?
Look up in your right corner there and click that button that says comments. Here, wait. You know what?
Yeah, I'm
I'll put
looking
it
at the
up real quick.
comments. Chad Palmer put a comment at 11:39 saying they have a 30mm camera.
I just posted it so you can read it right there. CNN is shifting right, and now they're going over the people they're going to hire. They're shifting right. They may be the next Fox.
We should apply for jobs, all three of us.
Yeah, I know. Huh? So changes spark chatter of CNN shifting to the right. Major changes at CNN in recent weeks have sparked chatter in media. Oh, this will make MSNBC nuts because this was their fallback guy here, CNN. Anytime they got in a bind, well, CNN said it too. Yeah, CNN said it too.
CNN has nothing to lose. They have no ratings. They have nothing to lose. They're dead last. I mean,
well, CNN used to be a premier. I mean, let's be honest. Okay, I had never heard of CNN before Desert Storm, or whichever was the first one. Yeah, Desert Storm. Sorry. All of a sudden, I turn on news. I'm flipping through cable one day, and I see this red CNN thing, and I'm looking at the war, and I'm thinking, look at this crazy bastard. He's got his head over the balcony, hanging out, trying to get a shot of this tank rolling down the street, trying to shoot this thing in the sky. I'm like, oh my God, look at these asses. They did serious reporting, not just on that, on a lot of the politics. They went after politicians. They were serious reporters, and then all of a sudden, for no reason, they went completely liberal. They somehow or another got a liberal in charge or in charge of everything, and they just went liberal.
Yeah. Someone else took over. That's what happened.
And it was just one lie after another lie after another lie.
Ted Turner left. They got bought up. I mean, and that was it. And once you're bought by a larger company, they control you, and that's what you got. And these were liberal companies. Like 5 families control basically all of the media that you see.
Mm-hmm.
So it all comes down to just a very small group of people, and it's a controlled factor. They don't want you to hear what's really going on, see what's going on. They want you to look at their design of what's going on. But look at Fox. Fox is some of the people I like, some of the people I can't stand on there. I really don't watch them. But during the coverage, the war coverage, oh my God, these guys got out there. That one dude was right there, stuff going up, bombing. I thought he was going to get killed, man. That talk about balls. That's real hardcore journalism getting out there. But CNN, look at them now.
I know. Well, CNN says it strongly denies such a change is taking place, saying it's internally focused on objective journalism. If that's what if they're going to actually do objective journalism, then CNN will be worth watching again. But we'll have to wait.
That's exactly what you're looking for, Joe. Right in the center.
But yeah, it says, but recent high-profile air departures coupled with what seemed to be by some a shift in tone, the network's coverage is drawing intense scrutiny. It should, because look, it was a liberal rag. All the liberal rag did was put it in bankruptcy. So now they're going to take a different choice. They should do a bipartisan, and because when you have both liberals and conservatives on, you have better news because you can argue with each other. You have good panel shows. You can really break out what's going on and get the news out. I mean, watching NBC is a waste of time because it's completely one-sided. Fox depends who you catch, who's on. A lot of Fox journalism hosts are just one-sided, but there are some people over at Fox that actually do real journalism, which is strange anyway. But there's none at CNN, and maybe there will be some, and there's definitely none at NBC. And I see that the ABC, CBS, and NBC news organizations for television are buckling up and doubling down, trying to get their 6 o'clock news hour back by bringing back real news and not just whatever bullshit was being said, trying to follow, like the guy said, well, we tried to follow along with the regular news about Trump, but people don't want to hear that. That's not what they're interested in. Most people, there was a poll taken the other day that 75% of Americans said they really don't want to hear about Trump. They're not interested in Trump. They're more interested in who's going to fix the economy. And that's what they're interested in. So there's a lot of people being canned. A lot of them are picking on Biden now. Of course, let me tell y'all something, people. You ain't got to be anti-liberal to be picking on Biden. Biden just sucks. It's just all there is to it. It's not like he's doing a good job or anything.
And if you look
he's a disgrace,
right, Joe? Chad says he believes World War III is right around the corner. What do we think? Did you guys? I don't know if you guys talked about it earlier on the show, but did you hear about the war games outside of Taiwan with Russia and China playing war games together?
No, they need to play. Let them have a lot of fun. Let them get into it because China.
Yeah, but in the same group, you've got the USS Ronald Reagan's battle group right there, right? A little kiss down the road, man. So
Right,
That's
and
interesting.
they play those games wrong, just 1 inch too far one way or the other, and that could spark off a war.
I've heard that battle group also carries tectonic weapons.
Yeah, I would think that, but China, see, people. This is what people have to stop and think for a minute. Now, Putin's dangerous because Putin's got stage 4 cancer, and he may just launch a nuke because he's just pissed and he's dying. That's if he has that.
Would you do it? Would you guys do it if you were terminal?
No, I wouldn't because I got family. I got friends and family. I wouldn't want to
like nobody. If you could just do it and not your country's not going to suffer.
No, why would I
launch a
nuke
nuke and just nuke somebody?
Anybody. No, that's not who I am, man. I don't want to go around killing people just for the sake of killing them. That's
well,
bad.
Got to be somebody you want to nuke.
No.
Some business, some town.
But it really wouldn't make much of a benefit, though. I mean, you're destroying an entire town.
But it's way more than this. So let's look at it from a constructive point.
I think Las Vegas. Married with children. Would be my choice.
Xi Jinping don't want to see Xi Jinping does not want to see China get nuked. I mean, China's only got 400 nukes to start off with, so we can shoot those down. So they don't want to get in the wars because the first thing that's going to happen is what happened to Russia. Boom! Everybody's going to sanction them. China's already got enough sanctions. They can't afford any more sanctions. Any more sanctions, they're back to being a third world country. They cannot have a United States and Europe cutting them off any more than we have. Think about it. They're starving now. If we cut them off anymore, they're back to a third world country. We were who were making just the same people who were making Russia rich were the same people making China rich. All we have to do is stop, and they ain't got any money.
Amelia Pisano said
China's not going for it.
Michael is the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain, preaching doom all day.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Doom and gloom. I'm just a messenger. Damn it. Don't blame the messenger.
Yeah, hate the message, not the messenger.
Oh, here's one on Newsweek for you. Video of Joe Biden doing impressions of a Republican viewed over 1 million times. Oh, man. He's up there mocking elected Republicans. I mean, why is this guy allowed to get away with this?
Because.
Democrat?
Wait a minute. Wait. Now, see, this just total more bullshit now. $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill was passed by a significant majority in the Senate. I thought it was 51 votes. And without Munchin, they wouldn't have had it. I mean, oh, man.
Majority.
Well, as these politicians, as the politicians get closer to the midterm, their jobs are on the line. Party or not, they want to get reelected. And they know when they do stupid things or if they defend stupid things or if they're part of something stupid, people aren't going to vote for them. They're sick of it. I think people have been bombarded between COVID, between fuel prices, between all these things that just have been going on. The morale of the country is very low. And then there are these bad actors who are Democrats who are playing these games, and just no care in the world. Let people suffer as long as they're in control, as long as they have the power. They wanted the power. They got the power, and they screwed things up. Trump had us on a good course economically. They tried to stay to his course. They didn't want to change things. But look at the policies they've drawn up and how that messed everything up, man. So that's what we got. That's what we've got. And another 2 years of this, 2 years plus. Where are you guys going to be? I'm going to buy an island and call it Halloween Island, and it's going to be Halloween themed. People can come there. Halloween every day. And when it's Halloween, it's going to be even better. You know what I mean? And then people can work remotely and have fun in their Halloween village. Ha! Then I'll apply to America.
Sounds like a good place.
I'll apply to America as a sovereign country. See, I'll keep my ports open to your ships, and they'll have to give me $1 billion a year just for that. You know that? And then boom, you're making money. you're in the cash at Halloween Island.
Yeah.
Oh, Mom, I want to go to Halloween Island. Nope, we don't want you here. That's our that's our tourism show. That's our tourism.
Let me go through these. Let me go through these midterm
Edgar
polls.
Allan Poe Boulevard is right.
So the government poll says that the Democrats are killing the Republicans 38-44 in midterms. The RCPA poll, which is another liberal poll, both have us tied they have the Republicans and the Democrats tied at 44.
Speaking of polls, we're going through all these trials and tribulations of life. We're doing all these things, so much mayhem in our lives. and then people in Poland unearth a vampire. You know what I mean? This female vampire, man. So
anyway, people, just ignore him.
No. There are people going to this vampire, rubbing their necks against its teeth, trying to become a vampire. That's how stupid people are. That's why I don't know if everybody should be able to get a vote or responsible people, or only responsible people should have kids. All these questions and more, Jay will answer. I'm leaving it up to you, man.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with some of that stuff. I mean, there really should be a test. I mean, we were talking about it a few shows back on about some people using abortion as a birth control pill, but there should be a test. I mean, they test you in some states to carry a firearm. Why not test someone to be responsible for another life? I mean, if you don't have the aptitude, you shouldn't be able to do it, right?
I ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
I have not.
This dude goes into a
What happened?
That was my phone going off, making noise.
No, oh, we lost Michael for a minute.
Whoa, Michael left. There he is.
Wait, no, he's.
And we lost him again.
Stop. Stay.
It's just me.
Hey, Jay, how you doing? What are we gonna do? Stop. Okay, I'm putting you back in. Stop taking yourself out. Okay. Oh my God. Anyway, we gotta get out of here, ladies. It's 11 o'clock.
Welcome to NBC.
Somebody said too much Coca-Cola today.
That was. I don't know what the hell that was. That was musical, whatever. But we gotta go
musical
anyway, guys.
Window boxes.
Jay, when you off from Church of Mavis?
I'm off the next 2 Fridays, and then not sure the date, but 3 Fridays from now I should be back on there.
Okay, harassing poor Jay. Poor Jeffrey needs his help. Wham just beats him up, man.
Those fetuses out there need his help more. So it's important.
Yeah, okay.
More important to work.
Oh, if you talk to Jeffrey before I do, remind him we got a meeting on the 17th of
Money's
September.
money.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to tell him I got a box from Llewellyn Press. I got a huge. I don't know how many books in it, but like it's this huge box.
Yeah, we give it. I don't know. Where's my camera? I'd show you. There's a stack against my wall right now. I got 300 books plus the ones I had before. So I got about 400 books to give away already, and we ain't even got into the season yet. I gave away 5 the other night on UF on the cover.
Wow.
Oh, speaking of that, we might as well, before we go, we'll give away 5 tonight. Which volume is this? What is its volume is? This is volume 36 of the anthology, Writers of the Future. This is volume 36. There's at least 12 stories in here. There might be 14. There's a lot of good artwork in there because all the illustrators' artwork's in here that won. All the stories in there won. There's some really good stories in these too. They can have up to 17,000 words in the story. Most of them are less than that, but that was the original artwork for the cover. That's just one of the illustrators. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's kind of dark. But there's lots of stuff in there. So we're going to give away 5 of these tonight. Okay? But
all right.
We're going to give 5 books away if you can tell us how much territory President Lizinski has taken back from Russia. It's an easy one. We talked about it in the show earlier. We even gave out the number. If you write to me at iCarcox.net, I'll give the first 5 people who get it right. Be sure you put your address in there.
I think that's a little taxing, man. I just ask them what day of the week it is. I think that.
You have when we get that shit wrong, man.
What's today? Well, it's 12:03 here in on the East Coast.
It's a different day for you. So you'd already be confusing people because you damn East Coasters would be sending me the wrong day.
We're already into Saturday, yeah.
What time is it right now?
It's still Friday here, though.
Yeah.
How about that? What time is it in London right
now? 6 hours
7 hours ahead of us.
6
so
hours.
like 8 a.m.
Wait, now how's it 7 ahead? It's only 6 ahead of me.
They're 5 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, they're only 5 hours ahead. Yeah, they're 6 ahead because for us it would be 5 a.m. over there. And I do a lot of guests.
For you,
I love doing UK.
For us here on the East Coast, it'd be 5.
No, because they're 6 hours ahead of us.
5.
Most
my
of the
friends
I
talk to them on the phone all the time. So
do you know we got shows in the UK, right? Just in case you didn't know that.
London is 5 hours ahead.
Weird World is ahead of ours. Where he lives in London, he's 6 hours difference from me. And he's on the air all the time. And since we get his show right every week,
he's in trumpet country.
It's He does. Well, there's we got a couple hosts over there, and then Michelle likes to do a lot of guests over there.
Who?
Michelle, she does a lot of guests from the UK. Them that group. What are they? What are they? The ones that do the Templar guys. They're from over there too. It's I gotta say, I've had some interesting.
They were destroyed a long time ago by the Catholic Church.
No. Actually, they I guess there's still somehow Michelle found two of them. That's all I can say. Somehow she found two.
They must be really goddamn old.
They are pretty old, man.
The two oldest humans on the planet.
Like the guy that Indiana Jones found in that cave with the Holy Grail. That was a Templar knight.
I want to
That's
see
right.
some
He was
ID,
1,300 years old or something.
Yeah,
something
he lived forever.
Like it's I don't know.
It's ID.
So show me. Man, that when they had stone ID back then, probably disintegrated by now.
They're printed on gold. They're all about gold, man. Isn't it gold this, gold that?
What was that, Cherie? Yeah, 5:05 a.m. Saturday, September 10th, 2022. Yes, I know it's 5 a.m. We do, like I said, we do a lot of guests over there. It's
over there.
Over across the pond, man. Speaking of which, though, it's weird because some of our guests like to do in pubs. They like to come on air in pubs, and it's you got to go find a quiet spot in the pub because it's noisy. And I remember one of our regulars.
There's no such thing as.
So one of our regulars who's an American was over there. He said, "I'm gonna do it in a pub like these guys." And I'm thinking, no, these guys actually know what they're doing. They go get back in a corner, or they know somebody in the place, and So he was trying to do it was so freaking noisy you couldn't hear anything. He said, "Joe, they really do play darts over here. I almost peed myself. I was laughing so hard on air. I was like, dude, really? Really?" It's like, I was like, what are you? I just couldn't get over. I said, "We play darts over here, you idiot." I mean, come on.
Yeah,
it was just too damn fun. Well, he said every club he went in had a dartboard. I said, every bar here's got a dartboard.
Sometimes they have two.
Yes, yeah, I know. They have more than that, really, if they got a tournament going on, or at least.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny. It was just, but he said he bitched because they didn't have that many billiards tables. I said, you were just in the wrong place. That's all. Now, a friend of mine in Tradies lives over there. He loves it over there, and he just thinks it's the cat's meow to live in London. He lives downtown London somewhere, so it means he's got a little bit.
What does he like about it?
He just says it's a great place to live. He feels the energy, and he said everybody's so nice. I'm like, really? In a big city? I said, I want to come to a big city where everybody's nice.
It's one of the oldest cities on the planet, too. I mean,
what do you, Mike? I think he lies.
There's a huge problem with guns there right now, illegal guns and crimes. It's kind of funny since they banned all those guns, but yeah, there's a huge problem. And there's also with the influx of all the immigrants, they're smashing the healthcare system, NHS, and now they don't know if they can even fund it anymore. God, there's a lot of problems.
What are you saying? Abbott sending immigrants to London? That would be a good one.
The worst thing about what? I love England, but the worst thing about it is the weather, the food. Boom, boom, right there, man.
You know what? Somebody should fill up a 727 full of immigrants and land them in London and say, courtesy of Joe Biden here. I could just see the London mayor. Oh, wait, is that still that little Muslim guy who's mayor over there still? He's nuts.
Tell the immigrants, by the way, we have a new part of America that's by Rwanda, and we're going to fly you there, and we're going to set up camp. I'm evil.
Wait, hold on, before we go, I got to see if that little guy's still the mayor over there.
This chick, I was saying something about the Queen, and she's like, "You're Satan," I'm like, so it doesn't make what I'm saying wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you can attack my personality. It doesn't mean what I'm saying is wrong. It's
so
funny.
He is still that little dude. He's still a little mayor over there, man. Whatever his name is, Sadiq Khan. Sadiq Khan. I'm sure I'm butchering his name, by the way. But if anybody knows it correct, y'all can come, correct us. We don't mind. Wait, how old is he? Oh no, y'all got the wrong name on here, people.
750 years old.
Oh wait, here's Wikipedia. Yeah, he looks pretty young. I mean, he looks like he might be 45, 50 maybe. He doesn't look all that old.
And he's who?
He's the mayor of London. He makes £151,000 a year for being mayor.
Wow.
Oh, that jerk! You're talking about that little dude?
Yeah, the little Muslim dude. Yeah, he's a prick. Yeah, he's definitely a prick. There ain't no doubt about that.
He's racist. Have you heard him talk?
Racist. Oh yeah, he's big time racist.
He's as bad as that one from Chicago. The mayor of Chicago. He's bad as her. It's terrible. So a lot of people in England, since I know a lot of people there, they're expressing that they're losing their heritage. They think that they're losing connection with their past. Things like Monty Python and Benny Hill. Everything that made England great. But they really feel like the government's bending over for people who aren't willing to assimilate. Instead, they're making the people who live in England assimilate, and they resent that. And it's not healthy, man. If you come to a new country, you don't take your same values and crap with you. You're entering a new land.
Almost.
That means you don't, oh, you have to follow the Quran or follow my belief, and everything about your society is outrageous. There are Muslims who came here that said there are things they didn't like about the American Constitution, the American way of life that they found was offensive, but then they came here.
Well, they came anyway. Yeah.
Do you know who this guy took the job from? Boris Johnson. He was the mayor for the 2 terms before this guy took the thing. Before Boris became prime minister. Look at this shit, huh?
Now Bojo's gone.
Yeah, Boris. Who took over for him? I never did look to see who took over for him. Eventually, I'm sure I'm going to hear.
It was Randy
Prime Minister
Quaid,
of England is
the dude from the Vacation movie. Randy Quaid's on Twitter.
Randy Quaid still alive.
Randy Quaid's on Twitter going off on Biden. He hates Biden. He's going off. And I don't know if that helps us or hurts us, because Randy Quaid, he's a sketchy kind of guy.
He's kind of going off the deep end a little, yeah.
He and his wife had to flee California. They rented this huge mansion, and then they didn't pay the bill. So they flee. They owe millions of bucks on this thing. They went to Canada and applied for citizenship. The Canadians rejected them. Then they had to come back to America and answer the charges for all this thing. Randy Quaid became the character that he played in the Vacation movie. That kind of loser in the broken down camper. Now he's on Twitter. He looks like Santa Claus. He's got a huge mustache and beard.
Have you seen this? Have you seen England's new prime minister? Mike, you need to check out England's new prime minister, dude. She's cute. She's good looking for a prime minister. I was expecting to see like Margaret Thatcher or something, man.
English women are very obedient.
She's also part of the Right Honourable Party. Her Excellency. Oh, man.
You want to play with the royal jewels.
But anyway, we got to get out of here, guys and girls. Any moans, groans, bitches, or gripes, you can write to Michelle DeRoche. She loves that kind of stuff,
And she will crush your nuts, man. She will crush your nuts. Grind them into a fine dust and sprinkle them over Canada.
For any host listening tonight, don't forget we got a meeting on the September 17th, starting at 1 o'clock. Starting at 1 o'clock, everybody East Coast. For my time, it's 12 o'clock.
I have a lot of questions for that meeting.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions for that meeting, too. But anyway, we got to get out of here, girls. Don't forget, you can check out Michael on Tuesday and Thursday. You can catch him on Red Pill News on Thursdays and Discovery Paranormal on Tuesdays. It's a good lineup over there. So Monday and Tuesday got really good. Actually, right now we have really good solid lineups. We're looking for one show to add to the Friday lineup and move on from there.
I'm the white fluffy stuffing in the Oreo cookie man on those nights. I joined it all together.
We're just not even going to talk about that. Anyway, guys and girls, good night. We'll see y'all.